But right now, I'll get into that in just a minute. Speaking of Leo, our first Leo, it's been a hot minute since I've actually seen Leo on stream at all, and I'm glad that Zaney is bringing him out in MNML on the Goldlewis Dickinson as well, and Zaney already off to the hottest of starts, half health on. Holy moly.
Yeah, half health down, 100 meters spent to get this hit, but off to a good start. Even your opponent having to use their burst right now. Of course, this Goldlewis, though, takes a few good hits. MNL fighting that, but of course, Zaney getting this reversal throw, getting that turn back here. Nothing worse than a back throw incident to start yourself off here, of course.
Float up in the chat. Thank you for pointing it out. Minimal is how you say that name, Zaney. The first advantage to start things off. Good armor point counter. Now Minimal stuck in the corner. Oh, the side swap and the monkey flip. And we are going right through the wall.
Put everyone in here for Zaney. I don't want to take any of that there. Actually ended up going with hailing with the HDP as well. Maybe we just knew, or maybe we're still stuck in a patch of old here. But Zaney off the throw, through OTG. No wall break though. Gets a meaty back turn. Waits out for the 6P. I think Minimal was even expecting, maybe that to actually connect there, but the patience for Zaney. And, and I will say, like, Leo's normally a character where I wouldn't default my experience with their player base as patient. So really, really exciting to see how Zaney continues to go in this set. Or any kind of willing to just, like, not send the first option after getting into back turn can definitely take you pretty far. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Zaney. I mean, I was bringing it up, but like Zaney's literally the first Leo I think I've seen. Like, I have been able to like commentate, or at least in this current patch, I think I've seen like 1 or 2 Leos just in general. I think Nitro during Evo was playing Leo. I didn't really get to see much of Evo though, was the thing. But like, Leo's still a very strong character, as we were bringing it up earlier. I mean, he's got that new monkey flip, new options for pressure. And in this current patch, he is still looking like the king of the jungle. As we start this second game, Minimal already having to take a defensive posture. The counter hit trade not going in your favor, and already through the wall we go.
Yeah, Zaney is looking very comfortable right now with running, kind of safe pressure here. Ooh, a little bit too press heavy on our options. Back there, gonna get caught, of course, here. Stuck in this corner, getting slowly walked down now. All are created equal in the world of Behemoth Typhoons. And then we burst it out here from Zaney. Get our turn back right now, but Minimal caught pressing here. Doesn't get the overhead to connect here. The patience actually working out in your favor.
No way.
Baiting out the parry here again. Oh, but no full pickup. I get caught anyway. The staggering 5H to find you.
Not a drop, just an American reset right there. Minimal able to sneak away with full burst from that round, and now Zaney having to sneak in a little bit of damage, able to find that opening in the run through the low pokes. We go for a third overhead, but Minimal finally putting on the hard hat, but still, what are you doing?
Zaney doing their best Milia cosplay here with like these like absolute tickle hits into these left rights over and over again, but Minimal fighting back right now. Zaney bleeding here, down a round as well, so shooting up the game. Minimal can find the right hit to do. They have 100 meter behind it. The classic Goldlewis will be taking some space here and to burn it down. We'll see if it gets dropped. No, let's the drone play it for us here.
Let that drone play a little bit of neutral for you, and Zaney, no opportunity, or not fast enough on the trigger, rather, to pull that burst. Minimal tying things up. Very well done. This is going to be a very back and forth set by the looks of things.
Yeah, I'd be curious, like, where Leo or Goldlewis players feel about the other side of this matchup, because these are two characters that are, in most, I would say, like, prominent, like, good placing players who have made like tier lists, and these are two characters that find themselves absolutely in the top 10. Like you could argue till the cows come home about a top 5 placement, but these are pretty strongly top 10 characters, right? And so the song and dance of these two, like, for lack of better words, behemoth of characters here, I'd be kind of curious to see how it's actually going to shake out here. Of course, Leo not having really any true disjoints outside of what you get from, clashing with 6P, but then obviously being able to just bring out the giant behemoth. A good pair, get yourself started here. Minimal getting pushed through this wall already. Got 50 in the pocket and positive going. Zaney off to a great start.
Absolutely, and as the curtains come down, once again, back turn pressure for Zaney. Minimal, 2 throws, and not blocking overhead. Unfortunately, Zaney's going to be able to sneak away that round. However, burst is available for both sides as we head into the second round. What's the starter? Just rips off the flash kick and actually connects. Holy moly, Zaney.
Yeah, I can absolutely respect that there. You feel like your opponent wants to press here, and this is the strength of Leo, is you kind of have a bit of an inkling of what your opponent wants to do. He definitely has essentially a tool for almost everything. So there's the burst. When I get put in that corner, I can absolutely respect that here. Though if you go lose this round, it'd be a little spooky. Okay, didn't want to try to go for the hit confirm here as well, but that keeps it plus into that low. More time again. 5 hits for the frame trap. Big combo starter. Gets the back hit behemoth here. Optimal thing. Chooses to not get the wall stick there for a little bit more mix up if you're going through here. Keeps the combo going. Minimal. Love the sequencing as well. Taking the hard knockdown off of the behemoth instead of going to that neutral wall break. Very well optimized.
Yeah, the Secretary of Absolute Defense showing it how it's done, but Zaney, I mean, the king of the jungle, for a reason, already going through the wall. Look at that damage off of Minimal's health bar, and Zaney rapidly racking up that positive bonus burst. Minimal, though, able to find a good poke. Now sending out the drone with Zaney! The jump piece!
Jump pace so clutch there. Gonna take it out the drone as well. Gonna get to the throw. Did not spend the meter and get an OTG hit. Is it enough to do it? It is. As you know, guts, scale, throw scaling, be damned. I don't even care if it's an OTG. Good stuff to Zaney here. Finding that when that was looking a little bit spooky here. Minimal, like bringing some really cool routing as well here from Goldlewis. I think we've seen a lot of these corner sequences they're very, very used to, but I love that genuine, like intentional choice to not get a wall stick route, knowing that they weren't going to get hard knockdown if they push them through. Who needs the positive bonus? I just need you to hold this mix real quick here. I could definitely see Minimal taking us maybe to a Game 5. Hopefully, love to see a Game 5 start us off here. But Zaney looking pretty unstoppable on the layaway Fang.
Yeah, we have been changing stages pretty rapidly as well. I'm not sure if Zaney I believe that Zaney probably has us on random selects right now. But Minimal, let's see if this green pasture will bring us to that destined Game 5, or is Zaney going to close us out with a 3-1 already? Minimal in a very good spot. Zaney having to take a lot of chip, the air stall, and able to sneak your way out and get yourself into a winning position. Great counter hit, and Minimal has to pull the trigger on the burst.
Again, good 2P though, catches that IED here from Zaney. Now stuck in this corner, but this time the DP is baited out. Willing to spend that burst, keep ourselves in this first round here. And we'll try to spend the BRC to see if they can get themselves in a little bit further. So now down in the meter department here, be very, very spooky here. Being down in resource war in this game could absolutely spell your end. Doesn't spend the meter out here. Zaney, a couple extra hits for fun just to show that the mix is ready now on set point.
Immediately getting the hit with the run through, and now trying to mix things up with the monkey flip, trying to get a sneaky little overhead in there, but Minimal able to push out, and now the whip throw tech. Zaney in a good spot, but a great poke out from Minimal.
Keep the same size here. Minimal trying their best. Keep themselves in this set, put them through the wall, but the guts keeping that from being a little bit too much here. 100 meter work with Zaney. Tries to send out with the BRC. Maybe have some sort of follow-up into BRC. Does not get the input there. Minimal with that retreating behemoth. Picking up that round, getting even out. Still set point here for Zaney. They're leading off to start right now here. Gonna be an early wall break. Oh, doesn't get the full pickup then. A back throw. This is so big for Minimal.
Able to escape with a back throw of their own, and now Minimal, very dangerous waters you have to tread. Able to poke your way out after the PRC though, and the drone catching Zaney on the approach. He has to pull the trigger on the burst to keep corner pressure, but Minimal fighting his way out. The overhead's being blocked, but that long coffin poke, getting a counter hit, but nothing big out of it. Big anti-air, is this enough?
2P scaling. Working against it, a great solution. The reward can definitely differ depending on where it's going to be hit at here. Minimal just needs one good hit to even it up here, but Zaney one good mix away, potentially taking it. There's the burst into the burn. It's down. Here it comes. Puts out the 2K. The stanky leg to say, hold on. You wait right there. Laser finishes it up here. Minimal, even in and out, and we get a game 5 for our opener. You love to see it.
Love me some opener game 5s. Let's go. Minimal, staying mentally strong. Zaney, gonna have to solve this problem of how do you open up Minimal. And I mean, to
Maximum effort, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to Zaney's credit as well, the 2 games that he has won, Minimal has not had that strong of defense. But on the other hand, you know, Minimal only... I mean, this is a battle of 2 very high damage characters as well. Neither player needs that many openings in order to really win, it feels like. And Zaney really just showing it off right there. More than half health gone, and we are already through the wall. Positive bonus ticking, and we are chasing down, and that is not going to be the round. Minimal trying to stay in this with the burst.
I respect that here, but all it takes is one good hit. You might be regretting that burst spend. Yeah, there comes to a point where you hit a point of no return. You know, it's just, I can understand the desire. Spending out that burst, of course. If we do go to a round 3, Minimal will definitely get that back, but might not be able to see burst anymore this round here, but good 2P, a.b.a be able to fight out again. Let the drone hold some space for you, but the DP connects on the wake up. Zaney not feeling any fear right now.
Not Minimal. Stuck in the corner, trying to fight his way out. The counter hit trade. Zaney actually pulling the trigger on the burst. That might have actually been a misinput, but here we go. Zaney, big wall stick into the post-wall break situation, and Oki as well. This is set point right here, and Zaney's gonna get it.
Yeah, very impressive stuff there. Zaney gonna take it 3-2 over Minimal. And you definitely kind of felt there. The tug of war of these 2 characters, both players have ran into them on ranked as well. It's super good Zato player. Not as familiar with Miracle here, so kind of curious to see what kind of dolphin action we could be bringing as we get into this. You know, definitely a bit of a unique matchup here, because Zato, not a very popular character, though seeing a bit of a resurgence in 2.0.
Yeah, and Clockwork has definitely been leading the charge, at least on the Paragon streams of the Zato Nation, putting the hopes and dreams on their back. Miracle. Oh! Yeah, and that's
a miracle after getting hit by that one. My goodness.
That's the type of setup that I know Clockwork designed for. Just like stick Eddie out, hope that you try and punish him, and just get absolutely blasted away by a full charge dust. That is the Clockwork design special at this point. Miracle in a world of hurt right now. Wow, that actually hit. I cannot believe that. Holy
yeah, I was wondering if that would stay spaced out too here, but Miracle getting a chance to continue to play out this round. Able to get a full connection off that 2K though, but keeping Clockwork stuck in this corner. The Dolphin Armada is coming here, and Clockwork has to put back, spends out that burst. Floats their way on out of the corner then. Miracle, only Dolphin movement here. Eddie's still a little bit of gauge left again. But you ready for the overhead to come out late. Great mix-up by Clockwork there, taking first round.
Absolutely, and first, not in favor of anyone just yet, although Miracle looks like they're going to get theirs first. Clockwork gonna have to deal with a little bit of the strike throw. Full charge anchor for the guard break, and here we go through the wall. Send out Shamu.
Gosh, absolutely blinking right now. You are hearing that health bar singing, but don't let your opponent ever swing back here. Who cares what your health bar is, but everyone likes to press. This is Guilty Gear Strive we are playing here. Oh, and a great 2S. Gonna find it smart there. Miracle. Great tough fighting back here. I mean, for how one-sided that round 1 was looking here, Miracle figured out what they needed to do here, take us to an even out, but it was that first burst speed spent already as we get into this option. Clockwork, though, still able to hold the space, kind of wait up for that Eddie meter to come back here, but you jumped in right into a close slash. Definitely a little bit of a nuclear option, then Eddie is back.
Yeah, using that Sun Void to reposition Eddie as well as and get a little bit more damage. Clockwork only needs to find one more hit, I think, but here we go. Miracle finally finding an opening for their own offense. Very aggressive burst from Clockwork, and we are using the new mechanic. Very dangerous waters, though. Clockwork not confirming the kill, but does get it eventually.
I was about to say maybe Miracle's trying to do their weekly challenges, but I don't know if there are any if there are any counter blitz quests right now or weeklies in this version of the Battle Pass. But shout outs to the week I probably saw the most counter blitzes ever was when that week came out here. But we'll see how Miracle can adjust there. Definitely, we saw some pretty good stuff there from this May, you know. But Clockwork like just looks very like comfortable and in control, right? And until you kind of see a Zato player maybe mess up a setup or a sequence there, like a lot of times it feels like it never ends. It's such good management, takes you so far on this character. The 5D mix is gonna come through. Burst has to be spent here, but Nickel puts to another setup right now. With that delayed 2S, gonna find the right hit. Eddie is sent out. The Frog is gonna carry it. Resets one more time. Gets all that meter back here. I love this sequencing right now from Clockwork. Just keep stuck in this corner, but a good 5P. Miracle gonna fight out.
Yeah, Miracle able to thread the needle and find the opening. However, the end result being the same. You're still stuck in this pressure sequence, and there we go. Clockwork able to find the stray hit and a command grab as well to refill Eddie. And Miracle, yeah, time runs out on this round, but you still got another round to go in this game at least.
Tries to get out there with the up Dolphin, not able to connect at least, and now a full punish here from Clockwork. The unsummon though, keep the Eddie gauge high. Great recognition there. It can be so tough to find a good spot to burst a Zomba player who is fully thinking about the reversal mechanic options. There it is, finds a spot. Miracle, not a lot of health left to work with then. Butt press into the throw off the Pierces. With the scale down though, but the overhead gonna connect. Pulls out the Zabubu just to say, hey, I used the new move. Clockwork up 2-0 right now as we move into potentially our last game of this set here. Miracle gonna have to find a Miracle, figure out what they're looking to do, but Clockwork offense just looks too strong right now.
Yeah, Clockwork just absolutely on a tear right now. Like it seems very hard to rattle Clockwork at the moment. We'll see if Miracle can find a way to do so and maybe put a game on the board, but I mean we're probably looking at a 3-0 right now unless Clockwork isn't staying strong enough with their setups. And I mean early burst already taken off the table, but look at this damage still. Miracle having to pull their own burst now.
That might be the sickest, you know, like Eddie's I've ever seen. But we're gonna get to see it again. So nice, we did it twice there. Counter hit 6H for Clockwork. Getting it twice in one round. Definitely a good experience here. Good 2S able to connect though. No full pickup, of course. Sato not really blessed with that kind of stuff here again. We're gonna send out the Chomp then. It's dinner time. Even if the trade would have happened, the Chomp would have sent you through. Clockwork now pushing you into near checkmate here on their last round to take the whole dang set right now. And you just jumped yourself into the corner, not where you want to be against Sato.
Definitely not, although here we go, Miracle trying to start to stagger this offense and trying to catch Clockwork pressing buttons. What a conversion! Definitely going to immediately cash out, get this damage and positive bonus rolling, so you at least have one more bite of the apple with this burst. Here we go. Nice.
Nice little setup there again. Flyers taking a little bit of space. We're trying to get their turn back right now. At this point, Miracle's getting pretty close to that burst again. So if you're Clockwork right now, your goal is to win the round would be great, but you'd be very darn happy with just getting that burst bar. That's such a big advantage going to the next one. Miracle having to spend it to keep themselves in this set still. The float! We're willing to spend the burst back! Clockwork, you're crazy.
I think it's well worth it for Clockwork to try and do it. I mean, even if the round ends right now, both players will be out of burst, so Clockwork definitely weighing the risk versus reward here. And I mean, Miracle, caught in Eddie pressure, oppose, actually trades here. This isn't going to be enough, but here comes Oki. What's the setup?
For it, will keep it locked down again. The 5D be able to do it. Clockwork believed, and I'm a believer too. Gonna take it 3-0 over Miracle. Here we go. Next set coming up now. We're gonna have Zintai, who was able to take it in a not too recent. It was not only a GT but also a Paragon here, and of course Shiro on this Sin. Sin, a character people, a lot of Sin players fairly down upon on this character in this version, of course. So, definitely not as strong. It's always the worst when you've been playing the game for an entire part of a character's design, and they kind of take a lot of those tools away. Has that new eat mechanic, essentially, or change to the eat mechanic, where it's a little bit more akin of old, giving you some fast stamina return. But Shiro must have not heard the notes about his character being nerfed. Already working Zintai down to his corner, but a good back throw on the jump in here. And a chance to fight back, baits out the DP. Are we going to spend the burst? We're not. Good trigger discipline there, Shiro. Zintai had that RC ready to call it out. Here we go into round 2 right now. Shiro had to fight back.
Yeah, Zintai, good sequence at the very end. Like you mentioned, using the RC to check for the burst before confirming the kill. And now working with a lot of screen space. The low hit grab doing wonders, and Shiro very low on life, having to spin the trigger, or having to spin the burst and pull the trigger on that. And Zintai just feasting right now. Guard crush after the hit grab. It doesn't matter in the end, though. It is a perfect Zintai, showing how things are done on the Axl Low, taking the 1-0 lead to start things off.
Yeah, and it's great to see Zintai, play a lot more. This is a player that I know I saw a lot earlier on in the Guilty Gear Strive's, time frame there. A lot of more of the earlier seasons. Not sure exactly if it was 1 or 2, but, a player that I, at least was aware of being a strong Axl player, and then kind of, disappeared for a while here, and maybe they just weren't feeling, the current state of what their character was at. Axl, a character that was considered more on, the medium to lower tier side for quite some time, and now coming, of course, into 2.0, getting a bunch of benefits and buffs, as well as just, overall, making the character just have a lot more functionality, how it can combo things out. We're definitely seeing that come to fruition right now. So you're having these players who have these long-standing comfortabilities on these strong characters, really reaping those rewards as we get in. Second game here, Shiro already finding their way in, gets a trade combo, but no full pickup after. Traps it into the low. Zintai able to fight out, though.
Yeah, great poke there and able to buy some screen space, and now Zintai. Nice anti-air there. Again, just trying to get as much screen space as he can, so that way you can retreat and give it up where needed. Actually won't even need to give up anymore. The one vision finding its mark, and the double Axl bomber closing things out after only 29 seconds.
Yeah, Zintai definitely not the name you want to be seeing when you're booting up into an Axl on ranked. Already can be a scary thing to be running into, but just so comfortable at holding space and able to genuinely maximize reward so often on the hit. The block on the over, we were ready with the optimal punish after 2. Gets underneath there, DP actually gets spaced out off the guard at the clutch. Excuse me. Hold it on this corner here. Shiro finding their way to get out again, but back in the corner we go. Zintai keeping you locked in, gets a trade hit. No full pickup after, though.
Shiro finally using that movement option and closing things down on Zintai. And look at that, all of that screen space that Zintai had behind them, completely gone. It doesn't matter, though. Zintai hitting the hit grab. The one vision goes through, and it is a 2-0 lead for Zintai in the blink of an eye.
I feel like Zintai just had us locked in the one vision, man. I feel like he just snapped his fingers and we're now 2 games done. It's just incredibly good choices on presses, right? Very often you kind of run into this expectation of the 5P 2P filter bot kind of thing, but Zintai is we want to press the good button. We want to press the S starters, right? The H buttons. We're looking to make you hurt for your bad choices here, and Zintai just so optimal with spending that meter. We'll have to see if Shiro can adjust and be able to at least find a bit of composure. Hey, a jump in H is a good place to get started here, though.
Yeah, but look at that, Zintai using that burst very aggressively. However, Shiro accidentally putting themselves in the corner, able to at least fight their way out thanks to some of these gazelle steps. But look at the ending situation. Stamina only just now coming back. Shiro at least does have burst to work with. But Zintai, a very healthy lead, getting the hit grab. Not going to go into one vision just yet. Shiro pulling the trigger on the burst. Is this actually going to chain? Wait, no. What?
I'm pretty sure Zintai just wanted a reversal super and got 2H into reversal super. So, you know, it's all good. And you know what? If anything, it makes me feel better because I feel like this is like a me problem. But seeing players of this level making that mistake, I feel a lot better. So thank you, Zintai. You made all of us a little bit more okay with where we're at right now. But all good. We can do a good jump in by Zintai. Shiro, sorry. Zintai getting the beat down right now for that mess up. Shiro has 50 to work with. No BRC after. President on the jump. I mean, their FT's out to get a bit of space right now. One good hit would let Zintai potentially do it. Enough frame traps able to answer back. Shiro keeping themselves in here and getting that first round.
Finally, Shiro getting around on the board. However, what matters at this point is getting games on the board. You are trying to avoid a sweep at this point. Good anti-air from Zintai, shutting down Shiro's approach attempt. And look at this damage. Look at how low Shiro is. Shiro is maybe looking a little desperate.
That's the worst part of like the sickle flash like mini game, right? Is that yeah, you can kind of like space it and block it out, but the chip damage on it is so high too. So it's a game that yeah, you know, you're allowed to take a few seconds before you guess, but you feel that health bar whittling down there. Zintai looking unstoppable despite dropping this round here. Just once they get the sequence going here, Shiro's kind of struggling to find a way to be able to navigate their way in, and that's what Axl's hoping for right now. They want you to kind of overforce it, right? Because a simple 5P anti-air gonna take out about a fifth of your health bar again, and you are back right where you started.
Yeah, and Shiro as you're mentioning, Shiro very low on health, and Axl first input had to have been what had happened, but here we go. Shiro finally able to take up space. Zintai now, wall behind you. Shiro spending some of this stamina, able to get the big counter hit, not breaking wall just yet, but a good neutral jump punish from Zintai. The script has been flipped. That
flip right into a 2S, yeah, hits to the bomber at the end as well. And honestly, like, it was kind of interesting to use that full block stun you got, of course, versus Poff here. A little Kai versus Baiken. And if there's a Baiken on the screen, I'm having a good time here. We'll see how Poff can navigate this kind of current, you know, what a lot of Baiken players are calling like a much more like, you know, watered down version of it, and calls out the gold burst there, but not able to get a punishment. You have to air IB block gold burst to be able to continue your sequence there. And Echoes has Poff stuck in this corner right now.
EchosOfFuria, maybe not super familiar with the Baiken setups here or there. We'll see just how things go with this as this set progresses. But Poff right now, really just testing and see what Echoes knows. Trying to do another tethered safe jump, gets the TKO Zonson, and finish things off with the dust. There we go. First round on the board.
Yeah, great routing there as well. Poff going for that, and I love that Poff is choosing to do, has it set up off of that left-right from the throw without doing the JPPs, A lot of players now have gotten so used to Baikens having this setup down that essentially if you can represent the one that doesn't give a tell, it can definitely take you pretty far, but that is all manual timing. So very impressive. A good delayed fuzzy jump there. Gonna get a full pick up there, but gotta be careful with those IEDJHs. There's only essentially 1 to 2 setups now where that is actually real. So Echoes here showing can't get away with some of these fake ones then. And great routing there off of that fast RC. Takes us to a 3rd round already in our first game. Pop after just a little bit. Counter hit JS. A good place to get started though.
All right, Tether not, immediately ripped off thanks to the burst from Echoes, and now Poff reapplying it. Trying to keep things safe. Great anti-air punish, and we are definitely going through the wall. We're pulling out the Flicky, though, to get that hard knockdown.
Okay, I'm starting to wonder either Echoes plays against a lot of Baikens or has a Baiken homie, because like I've seen 2 things now that like if you ask a Baiken player and they talk about this, they're like delete the VOD after. We don't want people to know. So good counterplay so far. Poff gonna find the right bar slash and the one button that will never truly let us call this character bottom 1. Gets a great counter hit routing to get himself started. Game 1 going to Poff. despite Echoes showing some pretty good counterplay to this Baiken. And this is a matchup that, like, at one point, you know, I think was a very easy to do about matchup. Still feels rough in some aspects here. But, you know, Baiken's a character that, like, all she needs is a couple good hits and she can definitely evaporate a health bar. And we haven't even seen any of the, you know, H-Kabari loops that she has access to now as well. And Echo is willing to switch to the Slayer, which I think as a matchup on paper is probably worse, but if you're more comfortable with it, and obviously the reward for being right when you play Slayer is so good, but good luck at round start, buddy, because Baiken definitely controls round start in this matchup.
Yeah, trying to kick things off with the round start dandy step into what I assume was Pile Bunker, that was very brave. But yeah, the Slayer swap for game 2, I am assuming that this might actually be Echoes' main, or at least a pocket character. As you mentioned, probably a little bit more comfortable against Baiken with this one. But I mean, you were mentioning there was a little bit of counterplay that Echoes was showing off, so maybe just putting some stock into only maybe needing 1 or 2 less hits. Regardless, the end of the round going into Poff's favor, and now as this round start happens, half health already gone. It hasn't even been 10 seconds.
So darn good right now. Echoes has to spend the burst. The chance to fight back. Gonna get the PRC to keep. Asuka's going there. Gets the FRC into the Yozansen. Good luck guessing that one, buddy, there. And a cross through setup as well. All this time. I said that's always been in the game. Now has genuine use and fruition. We are in the era now no longer getting that hard knockdown off of H-Kabari. Definitely really changes, you know, a bit of how Baikens want to sequence there, but she can still very much get meaty, real things by doing that cross through. So good stuff to Poff here, looking so comfortable no matter what character that Echoes is bringing in.
Yeah, Echo's gonna have to stick with the Slayer now. And I really do think that Echoes is putting in all his stock on just needing like 1 or 2 less hits overall. Like at this point, that's what it's gotta be. But I mean, the round start not going your way and already having to spend your burst in order to try and reset to neutral, but Poff just running the gauntlet. We're gonna get a hard knockdown post wall break.
Great JS routing too. That's what the harder confirm to go for. Poff is looking too good and gets the super jump, which lets the double overhead rip out free. Echoes here on potentially their last round of this set. Just looking unstoppable right now on this Baiken, and actually gets a micro walkout there, which actually puts Echoes in the corner. So definitely a bit of a catch situation. Poff can get that positive now, rolling in, just a little bit of space back with these Tommy mats. With the upward JS here, late burst just to get ourselves a chance to fight back. We have to guess right now. This can be scary.
Major situation, yeah. Echoes is in. Gonna have to hold all of this pressure, and now finally able to take your turn, get the punish counter. The Kabari rope though makes things a little bit weird, and Poff able to win off the scramble. Wait a minute. Last touch situation for Echoes. Good block on the side swap Master Hammer, but the side swap once again going Echoes' way, but Poff unrelenting, just smothering Echoes with the bed sheets at the end of the night. Poff 3-0.
Character kind of had various reports and feels, but JazzPanther, a name I wasn't so privy to recently though, but this Bedman can absolutely cook and put you to sleep here, but not because you're bored.
I mean, the zoning game for Bedman right now seeming to be what JazzPanther is favoring at the moment, but as distance gets closed, we are now throwing this FishyFishy, trying to find an opening. However, Bedman's pressure, very awkward and very tight. There we go, the error finally opens up FishyFishy, and look at the position that you had to burst from, more than half health gone before you finally pull the trigger on it. But here we go, FishyFishy now finally able to start things off.
Health here off of Jazz, evens it up, gets the empty button to the throw. One coming through, has to move up to Jazz, keeps themselves in this round. Kind of float away around here. Bedman so good at just kind of hanging out in that upper corner and kind of choosing when he wants to fall down on his own fruition here. Double close slash routing. Gonna help to get that wall stick. Beautiful job here by JazzPanther. Despite kind of getting beat up for a hot minute, still has a big health pool to work with. Or I should say effective health to work with. Well, let's see if Fishy here does have the burst lead right now, so let's play a little bit more on that aggressive side. Here, 2P can get out here, burst immediately back here. FishyFishy on the offense again.
Yeah, going with that high-low setup, stays airborne for the high, and FishyFishy immediately going to take a hard knockdown. Probably just favoring the positive bonus so that way you get your burst back for a bad situation, but here we go, JazzPanther mixing things up with the error, going for a throw and getting it. Now the head bomb popping out, and we just go for another throw again. And what's the post wall break setup going to be? We're going to go for a hard knockdown. What's the mix?
The mix is absolutely nothing. We're just going to hold this space and hope our error can do the work for us. They'll put a good 2P press. Going to find the right hit for it, but Fishy keeps that sequence plus. Do that one more time here again. Probably not going to do the dive anymore. Lets it rip after. Fishy not quite ready for when Jazz was going to do it there.
Fishy hit a button. I saw that punish pop up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering what we're looking to do. Maybe thinking we would work around, like, firing off the needle after. But, like, I feel like the tracking is so fast when it's the install version. Like, it's surprising to see that bet.
I had to assume that Fishy was trying to go for the, I think it's called Sultry Dance forward to try and maybe beat the needle shot. But, I mean, like we were saying, yeah, Call 13C needle shot, super fast. Game 2, though, round start counter hit, and we are trading our burst immediately.
Here again, the blocking out that signal here. The press out here, JazzPanther. I'm so comfortable pressing these 2Ps. You have to be comfortable with this fuzzies. Getting your turn back, though, but Fishy finding that next hit. Gonna get that wall stick here. Break it with the super to get the hard knockdown. What's that gonna be? Empty into the low this time. He gets blocked out here again. No problem to his air block there after the Beyblade. Has to RC to keep the turn going. Gets it into the empty low. JazzPanther's pressure looks so good when we have those errors ready on deck. One more time again. FRC to keep it going. One more again. Keep on blocking this Dark Run, please. That burst, the risk gauge absolutely built up right now, though, for Fishy.
This is how Bedman wins games out of nowhere. You've been blocking this string for so long, and it gets so cranked up, but a little bit of a drop from JazzPanther there. Fishy now, free from the corner. Up, down, left, right. Which way are we blocking? We're actually going for the back throw, and the reversal super going to get blocked and punished correctly from JazzPanther to end that round.
Shout outs to them making that versus super from negative block. That's hype. So I ain't gonna play about that one there, but Fishy definitely complaining right now as we're sitting here blocking out this Bedman pressure. RC being spent. That hover into the delay of the JD falling. That was nasty, JazzPanther, but unfortunately getting thrown for your troubles. Burst out, don't take any of this sequence here against Eno. Represents to the 6P, tries to reversal out to get underneath with the stroke. Keeps sequence going one more time. JazzPanther just one good hit away from being able to do it. Oh, but the OTG off the hit, not able to get the full pickup here. Fishy, good luck. Not a lot of FD meter remaining. And the chip damage to do it. JazzPanther is absolutely running off the race right now. Already up 2-0.
JazzPanther just running the gauntlet, just making FishyFishy have to guess for their life here. It's going to be very interesting to see, though. Can FishyFishy get started with a reverse sweep at this point, or is JazzPanther just going to pull out the broom and end things right now? Game 3, already neutral jump button meets JazzPanther in the air with the counter hit, and we're already going through the wall. It's not even been 10 seconds, and also JazzPanther now working with only half health, less than half health. We are not pulling this burst at all.
Who knows? Everyone send it if the right time calls for it right now. Puts it in the needle midi game here. Gets the fly in here, almost gets the full pickup then, but actually ends up picking up with the Beyblade after. Tries to find it out here. JazzPanther back on the defense now. Get a little bit spooky here. Gets into the overhead. Gonna get the full pickup again. Fishy, early reset. Bit of an awkward setup there again. Gets it to the throw.
Fishy finally on the board. JazzPanther though. Still can end things right here. Strokes getting traded. But JazzPanther getting the worst end of the trade, having to finally pull the trigger on the burst and still trying to make your way out of the corner. The Beyblade will clear us out. And yeah, you're not the only one who can stay in the air a little too uncomfortably long at times. Pulling out the eye gunk and we go through the wall.
Eye gunk, clean your eyeballs. Do your best again. Good luck blocking that sequence here. And look at this routing right now. Almost made it all the way to the corner there, Fishy. The deflect shield doesn't care about your projectile. Good to be mashing out here. Fishy wanting to win this game. Believes in themselves that they get one more thing. They can definitely do it. But has to play neutral one more time. Has to be very careful now. A single needle can do it.
Ooh, and a single needle, as he called out, will do it. JazzPanther now on set point. Fishy still trying to get on the board. Burst is in JazzPanther's side, although the way things are going, Fishy will have first crack at it as we head through the wall.
The wall with the far slash there. Fishy finds the right hit though. He's stopping that error follow-up. Hard knockdown again. Goes into the overhead. Resets one more time. What's it going to be? Overhead again. Tries to bait out a burst. Doesn't happen. But has meter to spend to get the hard knockdown. JazzPanther has 100 meter to work with. Burst being spent first, so I absolutely agree. Always get a pick up after here. Good fuzzy match out here from Fishy. Getting their turn back with JazzPanther on the sequence again. Multiple overheads being fully blocked out. The defense going so crazy right now for Fishy.
That's all the meter finally spent on that block string, and JazzPanther able to find the hit. Fishy does have to pull burst there. And 100 meter now on Fishy's side, uses PRC to try and clear out. JazzPanther still finds the stray hit. It's a one-touch situation potentially for both sides.
Yeah, and the YRC was spaced out too. I was like, is this it? But Jazz didn't have a button to connect. No worries though. Kept FishyFishy on this Eno here. And we have Demonics or Demo NYX_X. However you want to say it, let us know in the chat. But we'll have to see Eno, another Eno on the screen, and we're going to get a return of May here. So two characters that definitely want to mix you, though I'll have to say the reward is pretty high on the side of this May. We'll have to see how King can kind of adjust, work around these giant H disjoint buttons, the Dolphin Armada, as we get into our first game.
Yeah, and as you were mentioning as well, this is actually our first time that we've seen basically repeat characters at this point, so we'll see just how these two players decide to pilot it. But Demon right now running like their namesake. That is, holy moly, that was barely 20 seconds.
Yeah, looking like Demonics here by looking at their in-game tag at least. So shouts to players actually putting what they want their real tag to be, of course, in game here. But King fighting back here, down a round, but not out of it quite yet. Keeping Demonics stuck in this mix. Gonna get a dive to get out of that sequence here from the May. But this air throw by coming out here, but actually rips a 2H instead. So good here. King may be thinking that a throw is gonna be coming through.
Just goes for the anti-air there instead, and now Demonics trying to get a little bit of a mix started, but KingTwoSleepy sticking out the button, getting the big counter hit, and now we're mixing things up just a little bit. No!
The multi-hop reset, see if they're holding their space, and ripping the command grab. Didn't even have a lot of life to need to cut through there, just wanted to send the message then. Good stuff here to King. Himself in the set right now, but now we're already on the defense here. Demonics have to do the best to fight out right now, but good luck without any meter behind it. Sends the Dolphin out, but able to get a trip back into the corner here, but a back throws a grip way to get started back in this game.
Demonics, good swing with the anti-air, and now another big counter hit. great routing there, actually maximizing damage. Not enough to kill though. Demonics. Oh no!
Not gonna kill here again. Barely on, hanging on by a little bit of life left. But does have the 50 behind it. Trying to out on the PRC to keep himself in it here. Block the sequence out one more time again. Multiple overheads block the defense. We talked about it earlier. Defense wins championships, and defense wins Demonics this first game. That was 4 overheads we chose to stand up for. We were ready, and KingTwoSleepy is gonna have to go back to the drawing board there, and I'll be curious to see how they weave in bringing out the lows now, because we have shown that Demonics more than willing just to press back, not even down back here in this matchup.
Absolutely. Gonna have to work a little bit harder on the mix. But we'll see what kind of mix gets brought out as round start counter hit. Already Demonics spending burst pretty early on, just so that way we stay out of the corner just a little bit longer. Oh my god, overhead coming through.
This time the overhead connects, yeah. King2 can put to this corner here again. Gets it out with the 2S. I'm gonna get the full pickup after. The air one still keeps her plus though. It's only from the ground one that is no longer plus. KingTwoSleepy hurt us there. Channeled their inner best, brought out the mix that was necessary. And the hard knockdown gets self started here. Overhead into the low. One more time resets. Empty low here again. We are bringing out the layers now, showing that, yeah, we're willing to hold back, but are we ready for that down back after?
Overhead does connect, and this time Demonics having to spend that gold burst in order to stay in here, but KingTwoSleepy just seemingly pulling out the pillow, trying to smother Demonics here, and it has successfully been done. Life bar extinguished. One game put on the side of KingTwoSleepy as we head into effectively best of 3 territory now.
Yeah, and realistically, I feel like it's a lot of a familiar feeling of the game one. We just saw, King representing like a, slightly more earlier entries into the low. We saw that early, situation where the double overhead did come out, this time actually catching Demonics, maybe on that switch up on the block, but we'll have to see here if we go into it where it's like, essentially Demonics can get something to connect, and sending out the air dive, not really want to be doing without any meter behind it here, but King, that gold burst puts it back into that corner here again, delayed out with that JH. They're going to find themselves putting Sleepy through this wall here. Didn't spend the super, though, but 100 meter to work with, a good place to be.
I don't think that Yamada-san would have come out in time in order to get that wall break. However, Demonics, a lot of life to work with. Gonna have 100 meter to work from this post wall break situation, and the anchor scoot coming in. Able to win that round for Demonics.
Yeah, and I can respect not want to spend that burst or spooky Demonics against a character like May, so quickly good at hitting you as well. Slide it underneath that far slash here again. Meaty not going to connect here. Overhead back on the throw, comes out into the low. That far to keep the sequence going here again. No wall stick though, but calls out with that reversal Orca. Big chunk of damage coming in here too, but Demonics now getting clipped and knocked down here. Sleepy, empty low, another sub again, into the throw this time. What's the mix this time? Multiple overheads all get blocked out, but able to get the throw into the OTG. KingTwoSleepy answering back. We got round 3.
KingTwoSleepy just like trying to keep the options rotated, not really give Demonics an opportunity to sort of figure out what the pattern is. And already, look at that, health gone, barely 10 seconds in the round. Burst now taken off the side of Demonics, and KingTwoSleepy just in a fantastic position with 100% tension. Even trapped against the corner, we are still swinging. It's not enough to kill though.
Kill indeed here. PRC into the Chemical Love. Tro gets tacked here. Demonics stuck in this corner right now. I best to jump out here, and KingTwoSleepy getting a read on that. Demonics trying their best to fight out, but sometimes you make it a little too obvious and just opened yourselves up to get caught there by these floating buttons. King, despite giving up that first game now on a 2-game tear, we'll have to see if the third one is coming up next, or we can get a game 5. First game 5 for a while. It's been we opened up with it, of course. Here we have a lot of 3-0s tonight. The 1-3-1 earlier. Here we'll see if we get another 3-1 coming up, or if we can get a sweet game 5. We'll have to see how they can adjust from here.
Go. 2-1, let's rock. Neutral jump punish for Demonics. The life bar is still relatively even. Great throw tech. Oh, but the back throw incident, and now KingTwoSleepy trying to set something up. No, Demonics just pulls the trigger on the burst. Doesn't want to guess. Just wants to run offense instead. Oh, and the neutral jump back throw from KingTwoSleepy. All of a sudden,
yeah,
this is looking very dangerous for both sides.
Yeah, both players having a moment there. Both, I think, at least whipped one throw each here, but not going to be too much for worse of wear. KingTwoSleepy finding the right hit, puts himself in this mix again. Gets the plus Chemical Love. Finding himself to get out again. Punch trying to get out, but 2H going to connect. Big hit to get started. King, are we willing to spend out that burst? We aren't. Here we go. Moving into our second round. We are up in burst meter, but Demonics finding their way. At least even up maybe the game count right now. Can we get that game 5? Demonic sure definitely wants it, and we're slowly working Sleepy to this corner. Finds a way to get out there with the dribble. Gonna get connected for their troubles.
Guard crush off the charge anchor, and now KingTwoSleepy back against the wall. Pulls the trigger on the burst, but very low on life. Demonics with the up dolphin, able to get the counter hit, and brings us to game 5 with a perfect.
Love to see it. Love to see it. May definitely a character who is no stranger. All of a sudden surprising you with a round being over. So good at just putting out the damage. Making you hurt for those incorrect choices, though. Trying to stop them from working in the air. And, a character who's able to put out a little bit of screen presence, of course, with the note and that Chemical Love. But, we can't stop all angles of attack, and having to play defense against a character as scary as May can be tough. With the up dolphin doing so much work right now. It's immediate, I should say, beach ball setup right now again, and a good far slap to fight out again here, but an up hold there even during the block stun. Demonic putting out the damage, and King going through this wall right now. Only about a quarter of a health bar left.
I'd certainly say that King's going through it right now. Nothing has been going their way in this round. However, the deep counter hit, able to get a little bit of damage off of Demonics, using the BRC to try and punish the anchor swing, and all of a sudden, Demonics now in a very dangerous situation. Post wall break, hard knockdown. KingTwoSleepy, are we going high or low?
Decided to do the hide and throw that, and this dive into this throw is getting so much value right now. Demonics not quite ready, able to answer back and kind of RPS in that spot right now. King has sent the throw every single time, but a good 6P. Oh, and a back throw here into this corner. It's a good spot to be in. Demonics finding a way to keep himself in the set now. Sleepy feeling that shift in momentum, tries to burst it out, but spends the burst. This is a potentially catastrophic situation right now. Demonics can get this round to even it up. He might not even be able to see another burst then, but running through. Command grab's been able to connect. A big chunk of damage is about to come in. Not going to be enough to kill, though. At least 1-2 more mixes to win out this round of game.
Onyx needs to win this in order to see another burst, but KingTwoSleepy looking to shut the door, and it has successfully been closed. The lock has been turned. KingTwoSleepy able to take it in a 3-2 set.
Eno wins.
Guns with Unika.
Yeah, let's see here. Caliber, a player that I've become more aware of now as well, because Unika, everyone was talking about just how egregious this character is in this version, and I definitely can agree. Her pressure incredibly strong, and if you are not comfortable at dealing with some of her RPS spots, it can definitely feel a little bit difficult to overclimb. But really, I've only been seeing kind of Caliber pushing this character, making their way into some of these top 8s here for these big online brackets. Had a pretty good showing at EVO as well, but we saw it well mentioned in chat. The Eno Armada is out tonight here. And Raven tried their best to show us what they can do, but it was all Caliber in that first round.
Maybe it is Paragon, so the spirit of Daru Ino is with us right now, and Raven really trying to channel that spirit and get on the board here. Caliber, though, seems to be taking the lead of this dance as we head through the wall. The Death Buster doing a lot of damage, and yeah, the neutral jump counter hit. Raven's not going to have burst back in time. That should be the game for Caliber.
Talk about speedrunning. Caliber trying their best to give us our 3 more sets here in our last remaining block. Absolutely incredible. And you know, I have to say, while like, you know, everyone of course lost their conversions, I was playing a lot of Unika in the previous version, and I used to just laugh at how you could go from coast to coast with no thoughts extra. Of course, Red Wall Assault was pretty good at making most characters be able to do that, but she definitely did not leave her damage in the last version. If this character hits you, it is gonna hurt. And Raven on this Ino, not a very tanky character in any capacity. They're definitely gonna be feeling it. So we gotta get that offense in. And not only that, we have to get our offense in that can also safe jump too, because the Unika DP, you know Unikas love to rip it.
Absolutely. Caliber, though, having to rip that burst pretty early on after the round start counter hit trade with the gun dipper. And Raven now taking the lead. But Caliber trying to fight their way out. Raven with a very aggressive burst to keep Caliber trapped in the corner. Yeah, through the wall we go. It will be a hard knockdown. So Raven going to set up a high-low situation. The deflect shield actually to neutralize it. And Caliber all of a sudden might try to set up a kill condition right here.
Oh, holds up though. Caliber. Both players on blinking health bars then, but Caliber finds the right sequence, catches Raven, maybe holding up there as we're blocking it out. A much closer back and forth here in our game two. Caliber after running away with it in that first one, but finds it right here. Good block on the crossover as well again. So often it's essentially like very easy for them to do the same side, and that side switch off the J. It's pretty hard to call out here from the Unika, but we are sending out these multiple guard crushes again. But there's the first DP of the set. Gonna be ripped right now. Tries to empty out with the multiple jump resets here again. Tries to fight back here, but actually throws it out. Great recognition on that sliding low. Raven showing that they are ready to fight back against any Caliber, so to speak.
Caliber. He's just swinging for the fences here, and you do have to swing for the fences in this situation. Raven first ready, just in case anything goes south. Spins the 50 on the YRC. The stroke actually not catching anything, and Raven having to pull the safety net, but the hard hat is not on for the overhead, and Caliber sneaks away that round and the game.
That is the quintessential, I'm going to start swinging my arms around me, and if you walk into it, that's your problem, buddy. So just sends out the overhead, and Raven meets their demise running into it here. Caliber is up 2 games already. We'll have to see if Raven can do the reverse sweep on their Eno. And we're seeing it when they're able to run some of their offense, situations here. Definitely able to keep Caliber guessing. Had such a good fuse earlier out here, but Caliber has barely had to represent their own reversal, which definitely tells you that, Raven has not been able to play a lot of offense right now, but a gold burst so far. They'll get connected. Tries to do the BRC to call out, to bait out the burst. Great patience from Raven, though.
I'm gonna be honest, that gold burst felt very disrespectful from Caliber, and Raven, oh no!
It's in the in-between. Oh no. Invincible part had ended, and all you were met with was a flying gal with a gun bike.
Set point now from Caliber, and yeah, Caliber, I just feel nothing but disrespect from Caliber, just watching them absolutely dismantle Raven at this point. Reversal comes out from Caliber, and Raven having to send the stroke the victory in order to get any offense started, but again, the double TP to end things for Caliber, a 3-0 in spectacular fashion. Are About to face as one loss and you're done. It is top 8 losers round 1. The return of Miracle and Zintai on your screen.
Oh, and letting the intros rock too. I always say it. Let the first one rock. You can skip every single one after there. Just let it set the mood. Understand we are playing a crazy high pass anime game. These characters gotta talk to each other just a little bit here. Just like Zintai. Make a Miracle have to talk and get their way in off the back of a dolphin with the start, but a back throw into the corner is not what you want to be seeing if you are Miracle right now. Zintai being able to hold this space, keep this Mei locked down in the corner.
Yeah, speaking of space, having all that screen space behind you to retreat from and give up should you feel the need to establish a little bit more. And yeah, Miracle just having to eat the chip from the sickle flashes here, and what a great jump in, able to find an opening on Zintai. Having to give up the burst though, but Zintai now nowhere left to run.
Oh my god, what a bomber actually catching the attempt from Miracle to fight back, but a good trade hit gives Zintai the combo. The tumble happening above the head, more than enough time to recover and pick that up. Great recognition there from Zintai, showing us that they are ready for any of these odd stagger hits. And you have to be in Guilty Gear, right? Like, scrambles are so common as we kind of fight out in these reset moments here. And Zintai, in this second round, still taking off to a pretty good lead here. Miracle's gonna have to find one good hit to get herself started. Counter hit 5K. Watch this health bar evaporate. We call the K buttons light buttons, but nothing is light about that damage.
Definitely not. Mei has no way of holding back. Zintai now establishing that screen space, sends out Yasar, but Miracle able to find the counter hit. Now Zintai, very low on health, uses the PRC momentum to escape. Now Miracle giving up burst. Zintai. Both players playing patiently, but Miracle the first one to close distance.
Pressure back here again. That low, but the Axl 5D, it hits so far away. Not much of a bit of a conversion, but absolutely where we want them to be. And Miracle's gonna need a miracle to get out of this corner situation. And the 2S gonna connect your attempt to bring that falling button down on the head of Zintai, but they say, no, no, no. You'll have to try again in game 2. A pretty, I would say a fairly back and forth first start to our game. Maybe both players kind of just getting themselves seated, figure out what they need to do to adjust to each other here. But, I think that's kind of the beauty of Axl. Like, Axl, of course, I'm sure in a lot of aspects of a character, you need to be ready for what your opponent can represent as options then. But Axl is usually the one dictating most characters to have to play around his game plan, and I think Mei definitely is equipped to be able to do it, but is Miracle ready to stop what Zintai is bringing? We'll have to see as we get into game 2 here.
Yeah, definitely Miracle is going to have to adapt to the pace of Zintai. As you were mentioning, Zintai though, sending out the hit grab, but Miracle ready for it. Now, again, just a Miracle showing off a lot of patience, just looking for the opening that they know that Zintai will eventually present them, and a nice tricky little reset off of the 5P. Zintai though had a little bit of meter to reset. Miracle going for a very aggressive burst, keeping Zintai in the corner, and Zintai unable to find an opening. But there it is. The back row now.
Back throw's looking in this corner. They'll finish the route. Should be enough to do it there. Zintai, very good patience and very smart presses, rewarding you despite, like a character like Mei, right? Bit of a tank character, high guts value as well. So definitely able to take a lot of hits as the health bar gets whittled down. Axl character not equipped with that kind of, responsiveness to it, but a good routing here. Gonna get the Yamato-san coming in, breaking the wall. About 50% life lost here. Zintai gonna do their best to fight back in this round. But they're not gonna get the chance though.
That other 50, that other 50 looked like it was going away there. Let me tell you that, Gannon. But yeah, Zintai, I think you're on borrowed time here. Gonna have to FD everything out of tension now. Any stray hit will do it. They're just buying time, trying to build up some resources, but there we go. The chip damage for Miracle.
Lead indeed here. Zintai. Well, not getting kind of mauled down by these Dolphins. Definitely looking so good there, but a good hold up there, not to get caught by that throw. Tries to hold back then and may bait out any of the burst here. Not being given by Miracle right now, but Zintai pushing back to this whole kind of screen. Game plan again, letting that Winter Mantis Guard Crush doing so much work for us here. Getting the PRC forward to punish out the start of on the burst attempt again. Good chunk of damage here. One more good hit could potentially be enough to do it. Falling buttons here, at least it keeps up plus. The up Dolphin gonna catch Zintai trying to press.
Miracle just letting that drop, thinking that Zintai was going to commit to the burst there. Miracle, though, does have 100 tension to work with. The big behind-the-back anti-air for Zintai, though, shutting things down, and a 2-0 lead being established. Miracle going to have to make a big adaptation now to start on the path to a reverse sweep.
Definitely a tough thing to do, you know, like, of course we all know Mei, a character able to absolutely shovel out the damage when she gets the hits they're looking for, but, you know, we're seeing a lot of these kind of odd trades, you know, kind of causing awkward situations there where Zintai, more often than not, is kind of getting the better end of the design, and Axl is slowly whittling you down. Like, Axl's never been a character that essentially you played for the combo routing, of course, having some of those bomber loops, but you know, the reward change being a little bit different coming into this version right now. Good IB, but still gets pushed out because of the projectile, but fights out the beach ball there. Close slash connecting.
And burst being given up by Miracle, trying to stay in this round. Zintai, though, screen space being taken away, but able to find a button and reestablish. Zintai in a fantastic spot. Burst is still available, just no tension on their side. Miracle's just about to hit that 50% on their side, but the life bar not in their favor. I mean, you can still potentially win this right here. It's tough.
Too tough there. Miracle just not able to even make Zintai block a normal at that point, and we are one round away for claiming this first set of top 8 from this side. So moving forward, sending Miracle maybe off the game, or at least back to the ladder, the other ladder, if you will. Paragon's time will be over here again, but Zintai keep Miracle locked down in this corner once again. Is not able to leave it here. Mei, normally a character so elusive working around the air, but the space control from Zintai looking so good, and answering the 5G with a super. Gonna get a hard knockdown here. Zintai is so close to victory.
Yeah, you know that Zintai was ready for it at this point, and Miracle, the walls are closing in, the curtains are being drawn. Can you escape from this death trap? I mean, all signs point to no, but where there's hope, where there's life, there is hope. And right now, Miracle dishing out the damage. Zintai not looking to burst at this point, and Miracle, a miracle might be happening right now. Getting the big overhead kiss, not enough to kill off the OTG. The dust getting blocked, we have to pull the trigger on the burst.
Gets the hit to keep ourselves in. What's crazy is Zintai would have won if they essentially wasn't for the PRC scaling changes from old, but you know, bless those changes. They have brought a lot of good to this version as well here. Miracle fighting back right now, trying to keep themselves in this set, saying, hey, it ain't over for me quite yet. And Zintai stuck in this corner, having to block all sequences here again. Good empty Dolphin into the throw. Up Dolphin again, gonna catch it out. So plus here, trades in the favor. Zintai fight of really any life left. Asks the Goldberg to get some space.
Yeah, but look at that reward though. 100 tension of 50 already being used on the PRC back, and screen space being re-established. But Miracle finally seeing the patterns being emerged. The overhead actually getting neutral jump though. Wait a minute, all of a sudden, it is such a close game. One touch for either side, potentially depending on what Zintai gets. The overhead not being blocked.
That's a deflect shield, worried about any potential of chip damage working effect. Good throw tech in the air again. Up Dolphin gets sent. Sent on a deflect shield though. Now looking to keep sequence going. Gets a throw, and with a pixel, Zintai takes it off an incredible back and forth scramble between these two. Exciting to see how this kind of goes. Here's how often Pip gets a chance to play against the Unika matchup here, but right now looking pretty good to start us off there, but there is the gun, a big difference maker off it. Great conversion here, pick up the whole sequence right now. We are sending out the homies. They're gonna catch out here, not able to catch the bomb. Able to still space it out, actually blocks from that full screen here again. Can't even IED over. This laser is such a good kind of anti-zoning tool for the Unika, but Pip's routing here, gonna put you through that wall. Just barely alive though.
Yeah, Faust not really the strongest of characters as of late, especially with the recent patch. Like I've been chatting with a couple of the Faust players on the team, and they are not really happy with what's been going on. Pip Gaming though, making things work, down burst, but able to win the first round. And Caliber, maybe a little bit of unfamiliarity with how Faust is being played at the moment, but I mean, you don't have to be familiar with how Faust plays when it is a one-player game right now.
Chased up into the air there, and I love that recognition. Gets a couple hits then, and just wait for the BRC slowdown to help you with that conversion, and immediately quick answer back here from Caliber. But Pip definitely a player caliber of a player caliber to be able to fight back against a character like Unika, but good luck being right enough to do it. Faust, of course, not a tanky character, and the Gun Dipper gonna connect here and push you at least close to this corner on the other side. Fights out again with the Scarecrow into the falling Faust option. Love connect, actually dashes forward and makes Faust run into it too.
Teleports though have been catching Caliber off guard, and the DP, Faust able to duck underneath it and get the full punish. We're gonna be breaking some shins and going through the wall. We're just doing it for Oki though, as the damage is not good.
Goldberg to connect there, but not gonna actually find any positive R themselves here. Pip tries to get the late PRC to keep the combo going, but not able to do it. Caliber just really one more hit would be all it takes, but a BRC down, just a way out here, and the OTG is enough to sneak it away. Pip was playing so well, but wasn't able to get that conversion to sneak out this first game, and it goes the way to Caliber off a real cheeky use of that BRC drifting with that immediate normal after. And that's just an issue when you play a character like Faust, right? You know, a character that kind of has this really weird game plan that you and your opponent need to see who's most comfortable in. But of course, playing defense on Faust, losing access to the down back crawl, and of course, just being a zero guts character, like he will absolutely explode when hit here. And Caliber gonna show us some pretty big bombos as we get into it right now, but so far off to a fresh start then. Tries to chase off on the Gun Dipper being blocked. Gets thrown for their troubles.
Yeah, Pips Gaming maybe thinking that they need a new set of duds for a new mental mindset, if you will. And the what's all this actually trading with the burst there thanks to the only item being thrown, the hammer. But it's still very close for both sides. Pit now having to give up their burst pretty late on. Able to convert with the mix. Hold on, PRC trying to go for a cheeky quick throw, but Caliber too far away. That might have just cost you there, Pip.
Yeah, not working out in their favor, but finds the next hit then. A bit of an oopsie on that Scarecrow PRC setup, but that's what it takes here. Players of all skill levels can definitely mess up in those stressful moments. It's how you react and handle it better after. And Pip looking like they haven't missed a mark, honestly, in this second game here. Caliber stuck in this corner, getting clipped out by this foul sequencing again. But the craziness is absolutely happening. The bomb keeps him taking any space after. The boy's gonna break it here. Faust, the man with 6 walking DPs, pushing Caliber back to this corner, blocking out the gold burst. Send a few more items to see what happens. Mini Faust turn around the players the other way, but Caliber doesn't even get a chance to fight back. It was Mario Party for 20 seconds straight here, Pope.
Yeah, and that's just sort of like the nature of Faust, you know. Sometimes you just get absolutely dumpstered, and sometimes the RNG smiles in your favor. Pip Gaming able to lock things down thanks to all the items being tossed out. Caliber now having to win an effective best of 3 at this point. Meanwhile, Pip Gaming, I mean, just gotta hope that the dice lands on 6 again, I think, because otherwise Caliber is gonna be all over this set.
Not how you want to get started there. Unfortunately, we whipped out the 6H and the close slash forced Pip to defend that burst already. The Caliber already has Pip back into this corner again, stuck in the guard crush sequencing right now. Normally, Faust has access to really unique ways of fighting back out when the throw is on, but he didn't even get a chance to press anything. Just Caliber running absolute strong defense, and the finally get a chance to represent the JD, and the throw goes away at that exact moment. Unfortunate for Pip.
That's a GG go next moment. I wouldn't even be trying if I was Pip. I'd just be like, all right, let's go. However, Pip, stronger will, is going to try and win this round, but the DP punishing the attempt there from Pip Gaming and Caliber up around.
6-8 actually anti-air in the end of the mix there. Pretty funny stuff then, but Caliber keeping Pip locked down to this corner, spins out another deflect shield, get a bit of space, and a good IB to keep the space closer, but the close slash gonna find your mark, give a pretty good reward here. Not very often we can look at a Faust combo go, yeah, did a good chunk of damage here, not bad, but we are in the opening half of the health bar there. Actually, more than half already going here from Caliber's side. Pip doing their best to take us to a round 3 of this game 3, but the DP gonna stop that pressure.
Yeah, the all-present, all-knowing DP pushing Pip Gaming back, although Pip Gaming reclosing distance, able to get a nice chunk of damage before Caliber pulls the trigger on the burst. And I mean, Pip gonna have to give this burst back to Caliber in chunks. But in order to stay in this, the 9-iron actually connects. Mini Faust, what are you doing? Go the other way! Gonna keep Caliber locked down, and the YRC, Pip is still in this round. But the walls are closing in!
The walls are indeed closing. Pip has to spend out that burst to be able to fight back and is not ready for the armada of lasers to do it. A sliver is all you need. A hair of chip damage from the multiple sources, and we weren't able to find something to connect in the time, and Caliber moves ahead in the set count here. Currently up 2-1 now over Pip. We said it before, Pip has to find a little bit better RNG to many sequences though, but I have to say, like, Caliber's offense is just brutal. And I have to say, the confidence you have to feel in yourself to do the overhead and then rip a DP after, that's a little demonic, I can't lie, Caliber, but I respect it. Definitely working in your favor. Reason why you're up in the game right now here. We get into our game 4 right now. Caliber the first to spend out that burst then, and sending out those lasers.
I would almost call it the anime fighter special, because you do see stuff like that where you rip a DP in minus situations or even supers, and a lot of anime fighters, especially ones like Grand Blue. But Pip Gaming, the Dice's Lady Luck, finally showing you some mercy here, as unfortunately the bone-crushing excitement, the low damage from it, not going to be enough to kill, but the JD hitting something from Caliber as we head into the second round.
I'll get you a fresh dew here as you hold this quick mix here. The guard crush luckily handling him with a couple item throws here again. Gets 3 out of couple back-to-back throw though, a bit unlucky then. Yeah, gets the explosion though, and actually stops the rest of the DP from ripping out, which did connect from Pip here, but spaces out one more time. Another counter blitz here. Pip showing us that, hey, this mechanic can be used by multiple, and honestly getting the positive bonus pretty nice here again. Almost has that burst meter back. That's on the deflect shield, but you'll see it right now. Unika has so many projectiles in her pressure that using deflect shield, you have to use it on some of those meteor normals, or it will not give you the pushback you are looking for here. Bit of a YRC to get blocked out, tries to send out the low, but jumps back unless it gets only -3. Caliber looking so ready to bring these extra deep layers in this RPS.
Last chance now for Pip to bring us to game 5. Meanwhile, Caliber, a very strong start. The Crow actually getting bursted there by Caliber. Pip, though, health is getting drained away in chunks, but the DP getting punished. And we are just going, what's all this? The mini Faust actually stopping Caliber, and another DP just whipping What is happening?
Absolute chaos was happening. We would have it any other way playing from Guilty Gear Strive here after on a Wednesday, and a good JD gets the IAD attempt. Effort ends up being blocked. 6 POS there, gonna stop out that front sequence. Does not get it to connect, and with the BRC slowdown, more than able to continue the conversion. Pip closing the game. Lewis for insert here. The May extraordinaire, one of the best to do it on this character for you. Already getting brought down to this corner here by Lasagna, but we're fighting back.
Yeah, Lasagna Slayer, like I said, in the in-between at times, usually likes to stick with Venom, at least for Paragon, but definitely respecting the prowess of Insert, saying, no, you get my full attention, you've got me at 100% power right from the rip. But Insert, very low on life, already down burst, but look at the damage. This is what May is capable of. Half health gone off of Goldlewis, and we are continuing the combo. Burst finally gone. Here comes Burn It Down.
Nothing's worse than getting a hit and just being like, yeah, I can't continue this because, you know, I got a giant laser chasing me behind me right now. A good 5P mash out then from Insert. Third chance to be able to fight back appropriately. Another laser coming in. The Dolphin not able to recover in time, and we are shot from the heavens. The orbital laser, the Hammer of Dawn has come in right now. And Lasagna Slayer, despite being on the receiving end of that, able to win out that first round. And the overhead coming in heavy, keeps it plus. Block it out one more time, but a good backdash there. A little bit of a space. I love this back throw attempt here again. Our insert back to from it here. Immediate burst out. I'm taking too much more damage again.
Oh, no.
But says, hey, you got the space to drop that drone, buddy. Great cancel coming in. Insert rewarded for their knowledge.
Insert with the great chase down, and now another Burn It Down coming in. Insert having to cut the combo short in order to stay safe. And Lasagna Slayer now burst on deck. Level 2 security comes in, but still not far enough away to set down that drone, and because of that, you die!
Shouts to Lasagna, of course, holding on to that burst here, trying to go with a bit of an advantage coming into this next round. And it's such an interesting kind of spacing right now with this game, where I feel like so often having access to the burst meter was more, you know, relevant for, you know, essentially having Wild Assault access. Right? We are in an era, a Wild Assault-less version of Guilty Gear, being able to burst, gold burst as well, or even deflect shield gain so much value in this version. But Lasagna tries to find the throw, but a good jump out here by Insert, able to get the counter hit. When will the burst come out right now? Tries to keep a burst safe as much as we can, and Lasagna not willing to rip it, knowing being aware from that.
And the far slash for Insert finding its mark on Lasagna Slayer, and Lasagna Slayer, no! Trying to sneak something out again, and Insert with another far slash, getting the counter hit, immediately going into the counter blitz, knowing it's going to keep them in the animation, and wins the game off of that. Smart stuff.
That might be my favorite use of counter blitz I've seen yet. Like, just flat out. Like, that might be the best use case. Like, there's like this, like, more generic, like, yeah, like if they were about to get burst and you know this hit's gonna kill and you get the wall break, like there's like a very specific, like, yeah, then it's actually pretty good. But like, that was really good. Like I said, locked in that long animation, able to get through the laser despite it rolling right over their head here. Insert saying, hey, all mechanics are used at this level right now. As Lasagna tucked to this corner, has to find the burst to get a little bit of space and let the drone hold the neutral for you there. A great backdash in there from Insert. Not trying to take any of that drone sequence, but unfortunately gonna get caught. Has to send the burst back.
Yeah, didn't want to be in any sort of dangerous situation, but Lasagna Slayer putting you in one regardless, and through the wall we go. Look at the damage. This is the Secretary of Absolute Defense at work, and Insert with a tricky left-right high-low. Oh no. I think my internet just cut out. Oh, nope, I'm back. Hold on.
All right, we're back here. Maybe Discord having a little bit of a moment then, because at least the game looks good on stream. But that's all I care about here for our wonderful viewers. And Insert trying to fight back. RC after the Dolphin gets a throw attempt again. Gets a side switch. That's out with a 2H. Jumping out. Great movement here from Lasagna. A Goldlewis player who knows how to move. You have to when you play these big bosses here.
It's very scary to see a Goldlewis know how to move, let me tell you. But Lasagna Slayer will win that round off of the throw and insert, trying to get as much damage as you can before Lasagna Slayer has that burst on standby. Half health gone. Trigger finally pulled. We're emptying the minigun. We're calling down the Hammer of Dawn. The counter hit, though, insert does have to cut it short yet again. But look at the life disparity from Lasagna Slayer.
Great air throw. Be able to get this turn back again, but a good 2K. Sends out the overhead. Good 5P to match it out. Doesn't have the meteor behind it here, but still gets the hit. Lasagna coming in with that overhead air taunt. Burn it down. Here comes the big old laser. Able to recover in time off the up Dolphin. Why to get our turn back? All Insert needs is one hit, and we find the straight to do it, and we're evening up the rounds.
Yeah, in terms of resources, Insert very low on it. Lasagna Slayer just going to get their burst back here in a moment. Haymakers are raining down, though, from both sides, and Insert with this pressure sequence. Lasagna Slayer finally pulls the trigger on the Behemoth Typhoon. The drone actually finally hits Insert, and we are going through the wall.
Big chunk at that. Insert was 100 meter under the belt there. Lasagna not too far away from having access to that as well. That's a double RC, thinking we're going to get an early burst out of Lasagna. It does not come, though. In last second, though, we tried to send it out, and I think he might actually be dead. It is! No, definitely say it ain't so. It can be so tough to burst a.b.a, who has that burst routing down the anti-route, I should say. Great recognition from Insert there. A little bit hairy there at the end. Definitely could have saw Lasagna potentially taking it, but didn't get a chance to spend any of that meter here as we're about to go into our third game. Insert already up 2, just needs one more to move forward to that winner's final side here. We'll have to see if Lasagna Slayer can bring us to a game 4 and maybe even a reverse sweep to do it right now. And Goldlewis 2K is a great way to get started.
Absolutely, yeah. Lasagna Slayer getting this pressure on early, trying to maybe bait Insert into throwing out a 5P to whiff punish. However, Insert able to land that 5P and more run up 5Ps, and all of a sudden, look where we are. Lasagna Slayer stuck in the corner. The weak defense of Goldlewis being exploited at the moment. The instant overhead finding a little bit, but I mean, this is looking great for Insert so far. Great read on the jump out.
Yeah, we called out 2 of those jump outs now in that same spot. Insert looking so ready to be able to fight back correctly here against Goldlewis. 2P to make sure they block something, then let the drone do the work for it. Tries to close slash out, but the Orca reversal stops that pressure. Keeps it plus. They tries to do a little more of a greedier turn. Good 60 Lasagna. Able to fight back. Both players now want to spend out their burst ready. Insert has to rip it first, stay in it, but runs into a 2S for their troubles. Laz says, hey, thanks for spending the resource real quick. I'll take that round, please.
Absolutely, and what a big mental builder for Lasagna Slayer, able to get that round underneath their belt. Insert gonna need 2 in a row in order to send Lasagna Slayer into the loser's side. Meanwhile, we're looking at resources. Both players, no burst anymore. Tension looking very low, but Lasagna Slayer with that full security gauge, spending it all. A big hit, and Insert in danger of dropping this game.
And I love the comments right now just to send it on some stuff here. We were just doing the run-up throws, being like, yeah, I'm pretty high in a bind in the resource war right now. Got hit something with a little bit not expecting there. Lasagna more than ready. We are leaning forward then. We got the gamer lean on deck. And we'll have to see if that's enough to answer back more than just one game, because Insert is a player to not be deterred by dropping out a game. I have seen them, of course, get reverse swept before. I think I saw Macmans do it the last time, so Anji May, definitely a matchup that I know the May players are not a big fan of. But, you know, of course, Goldlewis, a character also able to dish out a lot of damage as well as take it. So we'll have to see as we get to our game 4 here if Insert can kind of right the ship and move ourselves forward. Well, if Lasagna Slayer can do the reverse sweep, potentially take us to that game 5. We're very hyped to see here.
Top 8 game 5 is always great to see. And right now, Life bar just getting evened up now thanks to that big hit by Lasagna Slayer. Neither player touching their burst just yet. However, Insert with the 50% tension. There we go. Burst successfully getting baited out by Insert, but maybe an accidental drop there. I'm not sure Insert was too confident in the punish.
Yeah, maybe thinking they had a charge that wasn't quite there, unfortunately, but Insert's in a pretty big advantage right now. Trying to overplay their hand here, and I love that sequence here. Great patience, thinking maybe Lasagna is going to go for, you have RC options, of course there's security cancels as well. Just essentially not trying to give Lasagna a free hit back with spend that burst. We are super far ahead right now, ahead of burst economy, up on the round right now. Lasagna gets a good knockdown in the corner here.
Yeah, just a reminder, set point for Insert now. They only need this round, and Lasagna Slayer going to be sent to losers. But here we go, Lasagna Slayer starting to run their textbook offense. As we get the guard crush, unable to get anything following up, spending the security cancel, doesn't find anything though, and Insert now free reign to take their turn back, and we are going to the other side of the screen.
Taking a big chunk on that journey as well. Chases out the backdash there with the 2D after the 2K. Gets the wall stick with the 6P. Send out the Orca. Free Willy and free Lasagna's health bar right now. Oh, see a burst save again. There's the Goldlewis class as the burst into the burn it down. But Totsugeki got me. Answers out. Catches Lasagna slipping then. And Insert's going to take that set. 3-1 and move forward to other winner's side set between our two competitors. Magician Girl on the Asuka, Chainsaw Man, as you mentioned, pulling out the Ramlethal for our first character as lead. Let's get to it.
Yeah, and we were talking about, you know, Asuka having been significantly changed in this version of the game. You know, mana regen not really a thing that he does very well anymore. However, being able to summon staffs as well, it's kind of a big deal. And here we go, Magician Girl hitting that first burnout, as I like to call it. And also the chance as well, being able to provide a projectile, and yeah, Chainsaw Man getting swatted down thanks to the meteor, and it is a perfect to kick things off for Magician Girl.
Perfect indeed. Mana bar being working down with the pressures going all in our favor right now. A little bit of back there in the corner. Gonna play a little more of a, you know, back to neutral standpoint, which Asuka very, very good at handling. Of course, has access to that, you know, dang near third of a screen low, projectile low, so that in that 2D, where we've seen a lot more of these counter players having to take advantage of these normals to do it. And 6K just finding so much right now. Chainsaw Nan not on a lot of health bar remaining. Good luck to be able to fight out appropriately. Blocks out on the 5D. Escape trap again. Tries to go for the throw, but reversal in with the Morto Bato. Lets us fighting back. And that's lets him have any more pressure. The immediately burst here again. Hoping to hit Magician Girl for our troubles, but just gets the mana bar, health bar less second.
Yeah, the 2Ps raining down. Magician Girl will find the opening as Chainsaw Man trying to challenge there, and we are going to go back to the character select most likely.
Understandable choice here. Now, as the, you know, selfishly, like, I kind of want Magician Girl to lose, only because I would love to watch her play against Caliber, because I picked up Unika to learn how to beat this demon in the old version that was Asuka of old. And so, like, I want to see how that method looks up these days here. But, of course, I'm sure, you know, Magician Girl wants to move into that sweet, sweet winner's final spot. Then we'll have to see how that ends up taking out. But the up jump there into the icicle as well, getting that nice pickup there. Of course, the knockdown. Chainsaw Nan already having to spend the burn, and we were only 10 seconds into the round.
Yeah, and this is very dire for Chainsaw Man, having to spend your resources so quickly. Not something you want to do in any sort of scenario, especially not against Asuka, though, who can set up some pretty nasty stuff so long as they have the correct spells and the meter. And as we send out the particle, a lot of damage now being racked up on Chainsaw Man's side. The bouncing cubes swatting Chainsaw Man out from the air. And we go back to round start.
Fresh round, fresh me. Tries to send it with flip as well. Curious what we're trying to work around for a normal there, but the block out then. Able to get a cancel off of the cube, but is not able to connect off with that Jaro, but Magician Girl, great routing right now, has to do the manaless route, of course, so goes to the corner, gets our full hand back, full mana bar to work with again. Chainsaw Nan thinking we get a break right now here, but a wall break is all we're going to be getting as Positive works in here. Magician Girl able to get a full pickup there with the retreating projectile. Bit of a trade hit here again. Tries to that with the PRC. Keeping Magician Girl stuck in this corner now and no mana shield to work with.
It's the YRC though to get that last little bit of time to get it back, and now Magician Girl fully loaded on offense. There we go, once again back into burnout. But every time Magician Girl has gone into burnout, that is the moment that Chainsaw Man has been looking for to start some offense. And as the mana shield comes back though, very dangerous game that we're playing, very low on life, and the yellow cube not being dissipated means that Magician Girl goes up 2-0.
I like a lot more what I saw from Chainsaw Nan here in this second game. Saw a lot more interactivity. We're working around those cubes, taking them out there with our larger normals, of course. You have to kind of be willing to fight some of these cubes when able, and being ready with what normal you want to press, whether it's like the quick 5P or a quickly active 6P to kind of cut through a couple normals. Then there's some options, but here is the Sin. I believe this is the character I first saw, Nan playing here in the past, so kind of curious to see how this changes out the sequences here again, and maybe comfort is what we need to fight a character such as Asuka, though I cannot blame you for trying out the Ramlethal, but a close slash starter is a great place to be seeing it.
Yeah, absolutely, and also sort of predicting that Magician Girl was gonna fire off that Screamer in the air, using that movement option to low profile it to kick things off, and now we can see the end result. Mana bar is back, but Chainsaw Man with the life lead, no stamina to work with though.
Just watching that cube bounce by.
Oh yeah, no.
This character is hilarious to me. Like, it's just like he's just such a unique take on like this like zoner-ish archetype of, I guess kind of pseudo set play, but also like, do you understand like what you are actually blocking to deal with? Do you know how to fight back when able? And Magician Girl, I'm sure, make a lot of us look like we have no idea what this character does here.
Good use of the momentum PRC to escape the corner, and now Chainsaw Man having Magician Girls back against the wall, using the jump Ps. It's not enough to kill, but this counter hit will most certainly do it.
Love that usage. He takes the 5H frame trap and takes it to the bank here. Try to send it out, to fight through, but actually bounces the cubes over the beat driver to not get cleared out here. I love that use case here. Magician Girl looking so comfortable with these options there. It gets that empty spell cast then. It's about -5, -6 there, but at least lets them space it out. No ability to cancel that 5D on hit here. Chainsaw Nan looking so much better right now off the Sin as we get the hard knockdown here. Positive going to be rolling in. Of course, spent it with that super. Not a lot in the tension department at least. And gets 50.
Yeah, Magician Girl able to find the correct conversion using these normals and able to get enough time to chant back or to recharge their mana. And now Chainsaw Man is going to have to deal with a hard knockdown situation. The God Cube bouncing just a little bit before it gets YRC'd away. The Fire Cubes doing their thing. And Chainsaw Man ripping the DP. No, we're not giving this up quite yet. And what a good conversion. Chainsaw Man staying alive, and I really do think that it is the movement options of Sin that is giving Nan these opportunities.
Yeah, I love what we're seeing right now. Willing to spend the extra stamina just to get ourselves past this annoying race. And of course, putting a strong, pseudo like strike throw in front of our opponent. Of course, the reward kind of considerably down for Sin in being right in some of those sequences, but essentially keeping your opponent on the back foot, having to answer back appropriately, definitely can take you very far here. Magician Girl, definitely a competitor who has been able to take a lot of these sets, not going her way in some of the early chunks, answering back right now, but such a big lead. How does your mental be able to handle? You get those first two games, all of a sudden you lose your first one. It's like, how much do you change? What was it that caused yourself to lose on that third game? Looking so good earlier right now. It's a good jump in here from Chainsaw Nan. Doesn't force out the burst quite yet from Magician Girl. Tries to bait it out here late second. There it is.
Yeah, and you can see the movement options that Chainsaw Man is representing, using that Gazelle step and immediately neutral jumping, trying to set up a high-low situation. Magician Girl, though, great conversion, gets to the wall, can't fully recharge mana, so this is a very dangerous post-wall break situation. The run-up DP read, though, perfect for Magician Girl, and we are at set point.
Man, I love BRC. My favorite things about Guilty Gear and Strive is BRC is it's such a fun tool to use. It has so many facets here and tries to stop that way in, but a good 2P on the punish into the RC. Let Magician Girl at least get a bit of our turn back. Delay out long enough to get our mana back as well. Able to get a full conversion off of a IAD back projectile. Such a high hit. Does not break with the super, so neutral we're gonna go. The mana shield a little bit low, slides underneath there with the
a lot of damage.
So much damage coming through here. Positive now, working with Chainsaw Nan.
And yeah, that was a mana-less shield route as well, and Chainsaw Man daring Magician Girl to blink, get the desperation burst, and staying alive all of a sudden. This is looking like we are heading to game 5.
Nothing less from the caliber of players we are seeing on our screen here. Magician Girl, not out of it quite yet. No, a lot of mana, but getting clipped on the IAD here from Chainsaw Nan. Gets a quick bite to eat, gets some of that stamina back here. Not able to connect off with that 2D. Actually back through the spell. Cancels off the beat driver being hit. Tyrant Brave coming through. A big rip of damage. This girl's gonna have to guess right. Tries to pin it on the throw. We bait it out. We felt it coming. And Chainsaw Nan, after switching, being down 0-2 to the classic Sin, has now evened up the set and is one match away from a reverse sweep and then making it to winners finals. We'll have to see if Magician Girl can slow down the pacing here or try to shake up Chainsaw Nan's pressure, because man, we are answering back near flawlessly.
Absolutely, and yeah, this has been an absolute mental builder for Nan, being so close to eliminated earlier in that game and being able to bring it back from the brink. That is something that shakes you to the core if you are in the seat of Magician Girl, but stronger players will always put it past them. They work one game at a time, and here we go. An all-important game 5 as Magician Girl down burst. Nan looking to close the gap just a little bit. The neutral jump does mean that Nan has to give up the burst, but Magician Girl still trapped against the corner.
Yeah, it's tough to fight out against Sin. We're strong at mid-range here. Magician Girl has to be very careful what we end up picking. Block it out. Why? So he gets some space right now. Again, gets the mana shield back here. Lets the spell roll out again. Gets the autofill to get the full card redrawn here. Overhead gets blocked out. BRC down. Also blocked here. Not being pushed too far, but a good throw there on the Gazelle. Good stuff here to Magician Girl, answering back correctly in the matchup. Chasing out the backdash with the Screamer. Keeps the sequence going. The 5D RC going to connect. I love the sauce again as well. Asuka being more than comfortable with single projectile hits into the drop just to get more time to get that mana back.
Very lucky for Magician Girl to have that instant mana refill card there at the very end. Burst comes back just in time to keep Magician Girl in this round, but the Gazelle step beat driver combo, anti-airing Chainsaw Man now on set point.
Tried to BRC pass, and the DP caught the dash up there. Definitely a bit of a head scratcher for Magician Girl. A little bit frustrated about that one, but can be all good. Don't let it fade you down quite yet here. What a weird stuff again. Chainsaw Man trying to at least kind of stop Magician Girl's attempt to approach out, but throws it further trouble. Kiske to catch you doing something on Wake Up again. Hold it out. 5D not going to able to connect with anything quite yet. Just retreating guard out at this point here. 3 Screamers to work with. Not what you want to be seeing all the time, but on your pressure sequences right now. We are at that full screen sequence, right?
Hawkbaker does connect, and now Magician Girl in a world of hurt. The 6P to bypass the projectile, not enough to kill the sliver of health for Magician Girl. Gold first doesn't hit anything, but Chainsaw Man didn't connect with the Hawkbaker either. It is a scramble, and Chainsaw Man comes out on top. Who is going to be moving on into loser semis? It is Zintai, and it is Lasagna Slayer, and Lasagna Slayer removing the limiters. The Baker is Baiken at home. The Secretary of Absolute Defense is here to fight.
Yeah, I wonder how a lot of the big buys are feeling about fighting Axl right now. I kind of know how the Axl Potemkin matchup seems to go. I've seen that a couple times at this point. But I have to imagine, like, not having White Wallsalt to just go, all right, man, I'm kind of tired of you just pressing these single buttons and me back to full screen, right? Like, not having the forceful sequence, but talk about a forceful sequence, burn it down. Absolutely good at getting your pressure back here, but a good Frame Trap out, tries to stop Lasagna from being able to fight back appropriately. A good 2K press here again. Lasagna trying to find our way in. We have a full burst to work with, but when we get a chance to use it at this point, spends the full thing on that Skyfish here.
Yeah, Lasagna Slayer keeping this first in pocket, maybe for a rainy day, maybe looking to only spend it. Oh yeah, we were saving it for a rainy day. That would have been game over right there. And the run-up tapped us from Zintai. We were not standing for that one, unfortunately.
Duel 2.
This happens here, going into our second round now. Lasagna just has to kind of essentially get to a sequence where Zintai has to block here, but it's so tough to essentially, when you are these kind of slower, you know, non-air dashing, characters, right? Like, you're just kind of like a little more limited in what you can do. And of course, I should say, like, Goldlewis has access to, you know, an air dash, but it just doesn't send him as far as some of the characters want to go. So that's the drone. See if a reversal is going to come in out here. We're trying to bait out this YRC so badly, but the patience from Zintai there picks the right time to use that mechanic and get some space here from Lasagna, being slowly whittled down, gives us time, the respect being given for the run-up throw, tries to get the sun switch on the Axl bomb, but a good 2P to fight out there from that retreat.
Zintai, though, with the life lead, able to make a mistake here, but one mistake is all Lasagna Slayer needs in order to probably win at this point. Good block on the low hit grab, and now Lasagna Slayer has to be perfect from this point on. Zintai still representing that sickle flash. Tension is very low for Lasagna Slayer, and it is the standing anti-air from Zintai to shut things down and take that first game.
Yeah, good stuff to Zintai. Looked pretty much in control both of the rounds we had there again. You know, Lasagna able to find a couple stray hits here and there, but nothing feels worse than you finally conquer that mountain of, oh, yes, I finally got past all of the zoner BS. I got my hit, and then I go, oops, they had burst. And I guess I get to do this all over again. And you got to spend burst eventually, right? It's going to happen. Sometimes you got to do it twice no matter what, but we'll have to see if any difference being made here from Lasagna. Essentially, you seem to be having Zintai on defense a heck of a lot more, and get Zintai walk to this corner is a great way to get started.
Secretary of Absolute Defense going to war right here, and Lasagna Slayer just finding the opening needed, bouncing Zintai around a little bit like a paddle ball. Zintai very low on life. This comeback is still very possible. You still have burst available. This tension is slowly coming to you. We're pulling down the thunder. Oh no, committed too much. The recovery getting caught out by the laser, and that's going to be the round.
And I can respect that one. They're trying to get a hard knockdown at least for that laser that pulls you in, but as you said, push a little bit too far, which sometimes happen. But a good chase there by Lasagna. Trying to get a bit of a read on Zintai's reversal movement options here. For a lot of these jumps here, of course, or that rainwater. So Lasagna stuck in this corner now, has to fight back. Here comes the laser again, pulling this Axl a little bit closer to us here. On the way through, gets a bit of a run under there. Let's projectile do the work for us. A good chunk of damage too as well. But there's that Y so you get some space.
Block on the overhead by Lasagna Slayer, and now the drive-by Behemoth Typhoon connecting. However, the max range hit grab from Zintai Not out of this round by a long shot, but does have to worry about the thunder that's coming. We had to block it, and now Zintai very low on life, no burst.
Yeah, no burst, no much meter to work with either then. So one more sequence having to block out that gun could spell the end for us. Tension being slowly built up. Lasagna just down a health bar, about near even health at this point here. I'm gonna get a chance to use that burst here. Lasagna not gonna give it to him there. No real situation to potentially get ourselves in. Even up the rounds we go. And a fresh start here means a fresh 5K to get the first hit here from Zintai. But now it's a reward off that hit. Lasagna already getting worked down to this corner here again.
Zintai. It's about to get first back. Lasagna Slayer emptying the minigun, just trying to get a little bit of chip. But Zintai, too much tension to work with, and now Lasagna Slayer kind of in. I mean, it's hard to describe. Not necessarily dangerous waters, but also not in a very good spot. Just kind of uncomfortable as it is. Life now, though. In terms of life, though, you are very close to dying. It only takes one good hit, and Zintai probably has your number.
Yeah, like I said, Zintai doesn't need combos. They just need to annoy the hell out of you. And I'm seeing a great example of that so far. 2P to check, see if any reversal. YRC coming in. Gets the throw. And further the right side switch. Also, one more time. Not going to come out here again. Fuzzy jump to block it out. One more YRC could be enough to do it. Lasagna, no burst to work with. No tension to really work with. All Zintai needs is 1 to 2 good hits, or one hit and some chip to be able to seal it out. But what will it come from? Staggering out. The clock is ticking down right now. We can only maybe take a few more normals there. And the Winter Cherry is going to actually do it. Or probably the Winter Mantis is going to grab it. Good stuff to Zintai, trying to put Lasagna in that, like, oh, you're comfy now to rip out the Skyfish and bring it down. No, no, no. My hit grab was ready.
Yeah, I was gonna call, like, maybe Zintai is just going for a timer scam at that point. Maybe Zintai was just looking to really demoralize Lasagna Slayer by making the clock hit 0, but like that might have been even more demoralizing right there. Getting punished with the low hit grab. Zintai up 2-0, and yeah, Lasagna Slayer getting opened up on round start, getting opened up again, max range. This is not looking good.
Yeah, you essentially have to, like, be right on, like, one Skyfish call out, or, like, maybe you get a lucky IAD, but it's like, Goldlewis doesn't get the IAD like a lot of the characters in this cast does. A good hit to get ourselves started. One vision to keep the sequence going here. Have to delay it out here to see if maybe a burst gonna come out. Lasagna not willing to spend it quite yet. I have to imagine we have to get one good natural hit on our own, be able to do it. And Burnt Down is the way to get started, but actually gets punished for the recovery frames of falling. Last second, it'll answer back. And the worst case scenario, Lasagna say it ain't so. We spend the burst to get us a chance, and we're going into potentially our final round with no burst to speak of.
And my head's in my hands right now, man. That was so unfortunate for Lasagna Slayer. Oh no! What just happened? Did we lose connection to the server?
Banking on having a high health bar to work with and go from there. Let's see how our players are going to reset right now. Okay, so we're going to go to round up here for Zintai. So Lasagna is going to go ahead and let themselves get beat up here real quick. So we can fast forward to that point. I believe Lasagna was also, yeah. Okay, and yeah, and both players also having no burst bars. So this is some great sportsmanship here. Our players trying to recreate as close as we can in the moment. So here we go. Potential set point for Zintai here. Look at that loser's semi side. Lasagna with no burst meter to work with. We are down a round. We are not down quite yet, but this Axl champion trying to tell us that, hey, stay over there, man. I'm still practicing social distancing.
Absolutely. The pandemic never ended for some of us. And Zintai really exemplifying the zoner lifestyle of full screen or nothing. But what a big counter hit, able to safely take that space and able to convert, and Lasagna Slayer down to potentially their final touch, tension on both sides, though. You have at least got Deflect Shield as a defensive option. The reversal not coming through, and yeah, Sickle Flash gonna end things right here. Zintai, a 3-0, sending Lasagna Slayer home.
Axl.
Good stuff to Lasagna Slayer. Coming down from that winner's side there after losing, you know, a 3-2 to Chainsaw Nan's, you know, Sin be able to do it, but another character with a good sliding low with big buttons that help you fight out these projectiles. But the big change, of course, with this character is that Unika has access to that laser, which absolutely makes Asuka hate a lot of them. And there it is! That is the biggest change buff right there. This character's got some BS, but having a command cancel for your 5K is massive.
Yeah, I am. Caliber really showing how it's done with Unika, the big damage that she never lost ever since her introduction. Magician Girl gonna have to navigate through some pretty stormy waters. Meanwhile, Caliber just needs to find one opening, and it is the Unika show. But as we try to establish some zoning, Magician Girl out of mana but not out of options, using these normals to fill some time to get our mana back, and now Caliber with the walk under, able to open up Magician Girl, and only for a moment though.
We'll still use a safe out on the 5H, get the 2-1-4H cancel. Bit of a trade there, not an invincible super, of course, for Magician Girl on this Asuka, and one hit, basically any hit, be able to do it with no mana shield behind it. Magician Girl definitely had a moment to maybe even up the rounds there, but Caliber, very strong, very just big button offense, able to take that first game.
As we head into the second game, no time paused to even gather our thoughts, gather some breath. Magician Girl telling themselves, I know exactly what went wrong and what I can do, and we've got a soundtrack change as well. Magician Girl trying to get this zoning game plan up to full effect. Oh, we didn't pop the mana regen, so we let off a little bit of the pressure, and that is exactly what Caliber needs. Look at that damage. Over half health taken off of Magician Girl's side.
And it can be so annoying to play Asuka in this matchup and just constantly being told that I am not allowed to just send out projectiles. This is normally a character who is not forced to stop unless they run out of mana here. And this laser essentially being this instant traveling projectile across the screen can catch you in that startup so often here. I was thinking an IED into the rock projectile, but not able to quite connect it here. Has the IED in. Look at the chunk of damage from one empowered projectile having no mana shield behind it. Caliber's pressure, it feels never ending. Magician Girl has to fight back, trying to stay out with these 2Ds, not able to quite connect it, but Screamer able to fight back. There's the DP, stop out that further sequence there, and catches the recovery on the redraw.
Yeah, that is just cool, man. Caliber, oh no, not blocking the bouncing cubes, and now stuck against the corner. This is exactly where Magician Girl wants you to be in. You gotta take a little bit of time off, get some spells back, get some mana back, and now gotta take even more time trying to punish this laser, and we actually are able to get the kill because of it.
That was so good as well. Of course, super projectiles having a much higher level, not being able to be cleared by some other projectiles. So good answered back, knowing that Caliber's feeling so comfortable representing this laser in so many of their sequences. But a good empowered low here, gets that hard knockdown, keeps it same side for the first JH here. Resets it again, gets the guard crush, slotting low, gets the quick cancel for this potential wall break. Goes for the reset though, but drops the pickup.
Magician Girl now. Again, willingly going to burnout here, just trying to use this tension to buy some time. Caliber sending in the Gun Dipper, trying to take their turn. The hard hat is not on, and Magician Girl, mana is back. We've got some stabs, we've got some spells coming in. Caliber, time is running out. You've got to find this kill, and you've got to find it now.
Mana bar full coming back right now. Caliber able to find their way in. Find overhead coming out. Perfect for the 2P. Brings it down with the meatball from the skies. You're going to come through. Keeps the combo going here. Scaling, working against you right now. One good hit is literally all we need. Gets out to JD. Puts it out. And then we can finish this route. Should be enough to do it there. Deflect Shield. Winning off Deflect Shield in 2026. If you would have told the Guilty Gear player when Deflect Shield came out, no, I swear it's good, you can win from it, they would laugh you to the next game over. But I promise you, if you pick the right moments and represent the options after, you can seal the games out, no problem. Caliber up 2-0 now over Magician Girl. This is how I would expect the matchup to go, and kind of seeing it at this level, I can still see the pain points here for Asuka against this Unika character. Definitely looking like an uphill battle for Magician Girl. We'll have to see if she can do it as we get into game 3.
Yeah, Caliber really does feel like really is looking like they have this matchup on lock. However, Magician Girl, Asuka specialist, maybe needing to dig deep into the bag of tricks for some Unika specific counterplay here, as Burst now gone from Caliber. Magician Girl though in burnout, able to generate enough mana to get out, and using this combination of staffs and spells to great effect. Unable to charge any mana though, so we're gonna go through the wall, and we are gonna have to spend a little bit of this Oki. No, we just run up, try and go for a button.
Oh, I respect the attempt. Yeah, trying to call out the YRC there, but Magician Girl holds strong and delayed Fuzzy into the 2P. Able to do it there. Magician Girl putting on essentially the best Zato impression with some of these 5P, 2P presses, but Caliber not feeling too deterred right yet there. Gets the sliding low to come out. Tries to match it on the projectile. If you block that, it's going to be a bad time. This round is almost over. No mana to be able to make it in time there. Could have actually RCC to definitely kill. Magician Girl has a chance.
Oh! Magician Girl baiting Caliber into going for the DP, and now this is the opening that she needed. Caliber going to be drugged to the other side of the screen, the throw to buy some time and get the mana regen back, and now Caliber having to use YRC. The air fireball not enough to kill, but the overhead will.
Flies on in with that overhead. Caliber 1 round away from moving on to the loser semis. Get a chance to run it back, or run it against, let's say, Zintai if we do it, but let's see if Magician Girl has anything to say about that. It's a good jump in with the JD, gets a counter hit, and a big reward for said hit again. Nice chunk of damage here. Big lead here in this third round. No mana quite built up yet. Able to get a bit of space here.
Magician Girl going to defy fate, at least put a game on the board here, and is going to do it with a perfect. That's what I call a mental builder.
Absolutely. Feeling that build up, that excitement of knowing that you maybe have changed your trajectory. Maybe you finally gotten a read on your opponent. What do they like to do? What do they like to represent as their offensive and defensive options too, right? We're seeing Caliber kind of, maybe over-respecting how often and when Magician Girl is trying to represent some of these things like the YRC or Deflect Shield, and then it's being called out for it with these really smart kind of fuzzy 2P timings. So we'll have to see if Caliber can kind of readjust, maybe catch Magician Girl, missing a bit on their timing and presses, but Magician Girl already off to a good start here in game 4. Good chunk of health off of Caliber already.
Very early burst there, Ganon. Caliber definitely starting to feel the pressure. Well, I say early burst, half health gone. Probably a reasonable reaction to burst there, but here we go. Magician Girl starting to set things up, starting to make things a little bit confusing for Caliber. The staff goes away, and Caliber sending in the Gun Dipper, now trying to close the distance for Magician Girl.
Out here one more time.
Oh.
Out is a super. Blocked out. Get a bit of a space here again. The falling JS there. Able to connect on the way in. Screamer to keep ourselves plus. The immediate YC off from Caliber. Tries to guard it out there, but still in the air, so no Gun Dipper is gonna connect. I'm starting to feel a change in the winds right now, and it's coming up all Magician Girl. Caliber's gonna have to press at the right moment, fight back from what this is trying to be done for Magician Girl, but she's just not giving Caliber a chance to be able to do that.
First now gone from Caliber as half health gets passed. Magician Girl, still a lot of mana to burn through, and burn through it she shall. Caliber, very low on life, able to finally crack the mana shield, so we are doing double damage. Back throw incident, just buy a little bit of time, and now mana is back. Caliber ripping the DP, guessing rightly.
And just like that, we were almost ready to write her off. A matchup that looks so tough to overcome in the last sequences, and Magician Girl is finding a way. I'm not sure if it's a specific call out to what Caliber wants to do, or something she maybe was forgetting about when it comes to the matchup, but like, we've just not seen the same level of good belligerence coming out from Caliber's Unika right now. As we get to our game 5, this could potentially be another reverse sweep. Magician Girl had done to her on the winner's side. Can she do it here against Caliber on the loser's side? We'll see as we get into a start of our new round. And already Caliber being walked to this corner.
Give up the early burst, and I am seeing now some rallying behind Caliber. A lot of players in our Twitch chat rallying behind Magician Girl throughout this set. Magician Girl still needs your energy. Early burst now from Magician Girl. The overhead opens up Caliber. This is the exact opportunity that Magician Girl needs to try and close things out.
Oh my gosh, big counter hit there. Mana shield, and actually gets the 214H to swing through the disjoint, fighting that Screamer, saying, hey, nice projectile there. Couldn't care less. Caliber, once again, one round away from moving forward. Magician Girl has shown that she can definitely even it out. I can expect this to go into the final round here as Positive starts reeling in here with Magician Girl.
Absolutely, and Caliber, half health gone, no burst in sight just yet. Magician Girl having to play without mana, at least briefly. And now, full suite of spells available to them. Caliber just gonna die on their sword, I think. No, they are actually gonna swing. They are gonna try and close things out right now. But the longer that Magician Girl takes to close things out, the more burst that she gets, and as the final pixel gets taken away, we are in final game, final round.
Don't want it any other way. These players bringing their absolute best here on a Wednesday evening. Magician Girl already off to such a good start in this final round. Caliber's health bar being whittled down at this point. Will the bait come out here? Goldberg's gonna find its mark. Magician Girl with no mana to work with, and his delayed jumps and then floating with either the redraw or the spell cast, giving so much value there. But 2D into there from that distance, it connects here. Magician Girl not able to quite do it. A pixel remaining. What will it be? A Far Slash able to connect to the full screen. You go. Tries to send it out with the JD into the J236S then. One more time. Are we ready for it? And catching the backdash. The super projectile does it. Magician Girl, despite going down 2 games, digs deep, turns to the final page of that book, and takes it. Inserts May. Squid Pope, let's get to this winner's finals.
This is a regular battle between these two, and no real big surprise. Chainsaw Man really sticking it out with the Ramlethal Valentine unless they feel like it is absolutely necessary to switch things out and insert. I mean, you know that these two have played so much in bracket. By the way, that insert is just absolutely taking a scalpel to Chainsaw Man. A perfect to kick us off.
My goodness, you're just unrelenting. Tries to ID out there, and this is your reward, taking 70% for just trying to leave the corner. Definitely tough here again, and a good RC confirm here. And before we even had a chance to finish our intro, Insert takes game 1.
Yeah, this is probably what it's going to be looking like for a majority of the match. I will be completely honest. Insert, I think that Nan has not had the best of luck against Insert is probably the most mildest way that I can put it. But I mean, hey, eventually, Nan will bring Insert down. Is tonight the night, I wonder?
We will have to see here as we get into our second game. Of course, sticking on the Ramlethal, and like, yeah, I think when it comes for a band for band in the power department, Ram makes sense. We're seeing a much more alive Chainsaw Nan as we're in our game 2 here. Connects a couple of these normals and a 6P to be able to fight ourselves back here. Bit of a BRC drip then. Keeps it plus though, of course, there with that single normal press. Back to the corner you go. No one wants to be here against Ramlethal. Gonna break the wall here with the windshield wiper. Chainsaw Nan looking like a different player here in game 2.
Absolutely, but the big overhead piss from Insert and the anchor drop as well. Nan giving up the burst pretty early on, and Insert able to get a big overhead, going for the reset, but the roll attempt gets neutral jumped, but Insert not giving this up, not by a long shot.
Good stuff here. Chainsaw Nan. The Ramlethal is alive. We are feeling ourselves out. We're getting a little more comfortable with this pressure sequences again. I love the use of the rock there after the block. That sword. He keeps it going out here again with the falling H-2. Get into the Dolphin Bunker loops here. One loop is all we needed for half your health bar. Please, Connor, my goodness.
Absolutely, and yeah, Chainsaw Nan. Oh no, getting opened up. You do have burst. You gotta spend it real soon though, Nan. And the 2K 2D anchor scoot going to give Insert that round.
Way on here again. Insert, of course. No slouch of falling down and picking back up from the fall here. I love these little double FD breaks here just to kind of bring a bit of a high-low, maybe even a left-right sequence here again. Oh, bit of a correct pickup here. Good hit confirmed there. The double 5K keeps that first one going. Now he's stuck in this corner. Overhead coming through with that explosion to get that held 5D for maximum damage to go through the wall. Not able to spend the 50 on the wall break. So back to neutral we go. The right connection hit. There's the burst out from Insert right now. Chainsaw Nan just has to be able to hit our turn back, and should be enough to be able to answer for it. And there it is with that burst.
Insert. Just looking for that one big hit that they know that they need. Nan though, able to escape the corner now. Pressure sequence being applied. The straight to Tsugeki from Insert though, freeing them from jail, and that will earn them the win.
And this game 2 looked so close. Like I can really see Chainsaw Nan kind of like coming alive and what they need to press, how they want to run some of these pressure sequences again. When they got Insert to the corner, definitely made their sweat to be able to answer out and fall appropriately with these big May buttons. But we'll have to see if Chainsaw Nan kind of slow down the Insert bandwagon here. But have to be another reverse sweep. We saw Chainsaw Nan do the reverse sweep before, but that was when they made the switch to Sin. We stayed on the Ram, which means it's only Ram to be able to do it right now. With a good stagger on the close slash there, gets the burst off Insert right away.
I mean, that second game definitely looked a lot more solid for Nan, so maybe starting to build up a game plan for Insert, but Insert is an exceptionally strong player. It's going to be very interesting to see what preemptive adaptations Insert is going to be making, but Nan, a great first round for this game.
Again, all the way to the corner you go. Good fight out with a 2K then, gets the throw, back into the corner now. It's a good spot to be in for Chainsaw Nan. Head in the burst department. Lots of insert there. Gets the right sequence of time and catches out on the falling button. The explosion's got you covered. More Tobato. No swords, but we get them back right away here. The corner you go again. When you get that wall break, the smaller map makes it so easy for Rand to push you to the corner almost immediately. Another Mortobato in the opening of the gap there. Reversal throw for your troubles. Keep the same side right now. Good jump back in the back out here again. But we want ourselves to the corner right now. Got to block out on this May. Burst being spent to stay in it.
You want to try and win this round right now. That's what that burst was. An insert very low on health. Burst not being spent just yet. And then maybe thinking about trying to sneak in a throw somewhere. Does get it. Burst not being stripped though. But another throw for Nan finally gets them their game.
Good thing we stuck on the Ramlethal. Maybe we have just figured out the recipe for taking down this May player here, but we'll have to see if Chainsaw Nan can keep that sequence going, or if Insert can find what she needs to be able to adjust appropriately and fight back. But these players absolutely trading blows here. These past 2 games have looked so close. Very, very bulldozy game 1. A little bit worried about the future of this set, but we are seeing the Chainsaw Nan coming alive here and doing what they need to do to potentially take down Insert and move forward to the winner side of Grand Finals then, but potentially at least 2 more games to figure out the result of this one. Of course, loser going down to that loser's final side here. 2K from Chainsaw Nan. Gonna push Insert slowly back to this corner here. Immediate burst there. Wow, we did not take any more of that pressure.
Definitely not. Yeah, Chainsaw Nan finally getting kick-started, pulling that ripcord in their heart. And Insert now gonna try and end things before we get to a game 5 situation. Great read by Nan on the air throw. And Insert, though, with the far slash, should be able to convert and will get the kill here. Set point now.
Set point indeed. Chainsaw Nan have to dig deep, and holding our space with the 5K is a great way to get started. Blocks out the overhead. Lets the sword do the work for us. Then the practice has absolutely been given. Holds up. The immediate RC cancel keeps the pressure going. With a good throw tech there from Insert. Far slash can get pressed to get the back throw. But there's a left right off the sequence here, which I absolutely agree with now, because look at the reward you get for being right. Doesn't have a drop there, unfortunately. There's so much damage to come through. The late Mortobato to be out on the delayed knee. Chainsaw Nan looking ridiculous.
Insert's not bursting. Oh no! And all of a sudden, Nan, it's set point versus game 5 point. Run up overhead kiss though from Insert. Chainsaw Nan, good poke out. All of a sudden, it's gotten really tense. Gold burst.
Tense indeed. Going back to the corner you go. Takes it out. The delayed BRC cancel just in case to call out the burst, but tries to fight a little bit too hard for our troubles. We are BRCing right now. Both these players trying to show us their favorite shade of blue. Up Dolphin actually gets punished, caught in the BRC slowdown. Great routing here from Chainsaw Nan, but we're back to neutral right now. Both these characters so good at navigating it with their big buttons here. Does he get the drift down there? No full pickup anymore. But gets the left, right, back, and the explosion keeps the sequence going. Chainsaw Nan is this close to another reverse sweep.
I am hogging, dude. Like, Gannon, I had to look it up, these two head-to-head, and I was not wrong. Nan has not had the best of luck against Insert, but this is looking like Nan has finally figured out the puzzle. Insert going to need to dig deep at this point in order to secure winner's side advantage as we head into our final game of this set. In Insert with the fart flash already getting early damage. Nan, though, giving up the burst to put Insert in the corner.
There you go. Rampage place to have her opponents there. Good hit recognition here again. Not gonna get the burst sent out quite yet from Insert here as we go through this wall. So positives are working in Chainsaw Nan's favor. Let the S-Sword work it again there. Oh, but gets burst into the corner. Bit of a rough cage situation there. And look at the chunk of damage that came out from the fully held 6H. That was more than like supers do for most of the cast. My goodness, Insert, so optimal with their routing.
2K, 2G using some of the tension on the faultless defense in order to maybe control which side you drift there by man. And now Insert also without burst. We're playing this most of this game resourceless at this point, and Insert finding the opening. Nan only gonna have one shot at— no, you're dead. You are absolutely dead. Mr. Yamada says hello and sends you to an early grave. Insert able to stave off a reverse sweep. Secure going into burnout a lot more, considering you cannot trade your resources anymore. So, I mean, we'll see if Magician Girl has any specific tech that they want to show off for this matchup in particular. But I would say that Zintai is the one to be setting the pace here. As we are underway in this set, Zintai very early burst, did not like the look of that counter hit that Magician Girl got. And once again, we are having to deal with some rushdown pressure from Asuka, surprisingly enough.
6Ks there, offering these delayed frame traps, of course, multi-hitting as well. Zintai, less than half their life bar remaining in this round. Falling out with the JH here, some basic step pressure. Push back to more of that full screen. Again, we go. Of course, Asuka, a character more than comfortable being in this spot right now. Able to get the cubes out, gets the redraw super ready, gets that mana regen on deck right now to help with some of that flow back here. Also noticing the mana does not come back during any of the slowdowns too. Very interesting to see here. But is Zintai staying in right now? Hasn't gotten hit now in the past like 20 to 30 seconds or so. Bit of a change of pace.
Yeah, and that slower pace definitely kind of favoring Zintai, like Magician Girl, just trying to get into a comfortable range where you can jump in and land that Screamer, and there you go. That's the end result. Magician Girl winning that first round, but it's really on the... it's on Magician Girl to, like, rush down and make Zintai uncomfortable is what it's looking like the end result is being. And Zintai, you know, you're playing Axl, you've got to be comfortable whether you're getting rushed down, whether you're playing full screen, like, you've just got to be cool as a cucumber.
Easier said than done when you know you're made of paper without that mana shield, but have to see what we can do and work it out. Zintai gets pushed to this corner again, gets delayed into the meatball overhead coming through. Tries to work around these Axl normals there, but still gets flipped for our trouble. The full pickup here with the one vision bomber to keep you flying. Gonna put you through that wall here. Actually, not quite then. Looks like in this corner here, gets another reversal. The projectile fights through with a reversal of their own and gets to go through and gets the kill too. What a call out from Zintai.
That's the first time I've ever seen that super, like, invulnerability frames, like, in such clear, with such a clear picture. Like, what do you mean he is invulnerable on startup like that? What do you mean that cube just completely bypassed him? That's nuts.
Girl finding the right hit again. Back to neutral we go, but we're off to a pretty big advantage. Health bars are near identical, though definitely on the tankier side with that mana shield at the ready. But a good 2H, they're going to force out that burst from Magician Girl already.
Magician Girl burning away that mana, and unfortunately the whiffed grab will spell curtains for you and send us back to the main stage. Zintai takes the first game pretty handily, I will say.
Absolutely there. Good stuff there. You know, both these players doing the best. Zintai's win quote being buff zoning. Nice
All
game.
right.
Turn off the Paragon channel if you're watching right now. Don't listen to this player. They don't know what I'm talking about. No, I'm kidding here. Zintai definitely, you know, just like looking so calm and collected. Yeah, and I'm definitely seeing very quickly here exactly why this matchup. I'm probably more on the leaning side of Axl, just so easily able to kind of interact with these cubes, and of course, like, neither of these characters probably care going full screen from each other again. It just kind of matters who is allowed to essentially, you know, do their things more often than the other, right? You know, is the Asuka getting to press whatever normal he wants for fun and the occasional special move? He's big chilling. Is the Asuka constantly drawing and working through these cubes there? They're having the time of their life, just like Zintai, the Magician Girl, almost near this corner right now. Health bar absolutely low, and the mana bar is burnt out.
Yeah, here we go. Magician Girl trying to set something up. Zintai pulls the trigger on the burst. They want to end things right here, right now, and end things they shall. There we go. The OTG going to be enough.
I think it's a micro dash to get that 2H there as well. Perhaps the routing from Zintai, knowing their maximum damage that they can work with here. Magician Girl with Zintai on the back end right now, letting the cubes do the work for it. Good mash out there, forces out Magician Girl to have to use that burst just to keep Zintai locked down in this corner here. A couple extra resets there. Gonna just go ahead and single hit into the drop down. I mentioned that earlier again. Asuka's more than willing to get those resources back with the time. Then just a simple back to neutral we go. Super wall break to get a little extra damage. Get the hard knockdown. This is a really good spot for Magician Girl.
Magician Girl. Yeah, connecting with the overhead there. And Zintai looking a little mortal all of a suddenly. Like the Axl not looking like the invulnerable wall of defense that he has been for most of this set. Magician Girl, though, opening things up with the meatball and now putting on the high gravity staff, the counter hit trade. No one able to get the better of it. The left-right mix-up from Zintai does connect, and now the deep counter hit with the follow-up means that Zintai now 2-0 up. Magician Girl gonna have to dig deep and find some way to reverse sweep.
Looking tough, looking long for Magician Girl. See how we can figure out to do it. Like, we're getting some very close moments, some close sequences, maybe just one or two, you know, mix-ups there where Zintai doesn't guess right. We had that one situation where a proper 5K stopped so much of the investment for Magician Girl, getting Zintai to that corner and able to fight out here. It'll have to be a reverse sweep to do it. We'll see if she can lock in enough gap this tough matchup as we go through. And overhead projectile is a good way to get started.
Indeedy. Well, the explosion pushing Magician Girl all the way back into the corner, and Zintai now all the real estate behind you to work with. Magician Girl just stuck, cannot escape, and there we go. Mana Shield finally gets cracked, and Magician Girl actually meeting Zintai face to face. Hold on. The bravery being very well rewarded there.
Rewarded indeed. Stuck in this corner right now. Not able to get the full wall stick and connect. Does it out one more time. Sequence is coming out. OTG pickup here again. Double Winter Mantis. Blocking out. Oh man, that low into the cube again. Had another one in the tank here too. Let the big cube hold it down for me for a little bit. No mana for Magician Girl. Playing a little on the Ancier's side right now. One good hit could be enough to do it. Set out the super to get a bit of space here again. It's the drawback. Enough to kind of get the mana bar back too. But catching out the throw, Zintai was ready. And with that, we are one round away from taking the set, moving on to Losers Finals.
Zintai has really been looking unstoppable tonight. Magician Girl trying to put up as much of a fight as she can, but like it's just feeling so hard just looking at this to figure out some sort of game plan that Magician Girl can implement. Half health gone now off of her side. Zintai, oh, trying to sneak in the 6P, but Magician Girl ready for it. But now full screen, mana is very low.
Indeed, health bar Also low behind it. A good throw tech from Zintai might be what we need to be able to do it. Spends the burst, believe in themselves that they're going to have enough to take what they need. The Winter Man's going to catch out, Fishy on the low. We run out, take anyone that sequences again. Bring out the propeller, bursting back into the corner you go. Hold this setup here real quick. You can see what reset here again. This is late overhead. Great sequencing and mix, keeping Magician Girl in this set.
Again, and I don't know how she found it, but I'm so glad that Magician Girl was able to win that, so we got some more Guilty Gear ahead of us. At least one more round as Zintai looking to close things out. A very early life lead, and the lead is only widening here, but the mid-air Screamer giving Magician Girl an opportunity to close things out, using the Oki time to actually generate mana. Very interesting. Now go through the wall. Look at the damage.
Yeah, big chunk coming through here. Not just seeing that when it comes to Asuka right now, but here we go. Stretch out behind it here. We're able to recover in time, but let's go get this sequencing. Just see it pushed into this corner right now. Delays out on the 2S. Great recognition here and routing so far. Axl Bomber to be able to put it through. Gonna get a hard knockdown. Not gonna be enough to kill. Mana Shield a little bit too tanky.
Shield being the only thing that saves Magician Girl in this scenario, but in the end, the long-range button from Zintai finds its mark, and it is a...
Let's get to his win.
Absolutely, and yeah, this is the matchup that makes most sense. I mean, Chainsaw Nan can kind of challenge Zintai at the mid-range thanks to the sword, so long as she has the swords, I would say. But I mean, Zintai already, we're seeing a lot of mobility come out from them, and now Chainsaw Nan trying to open up Zintai with a empty jump low, empty jump high with a sword explosion backup. But I mean, as very little damage is being done as we hit the 20-second mark, finally, Chainsaw Nan, the first one to land any sort of significant hit. But we're still just like barely touching everyone as Zintai finally landing the big back throw, and let's see what we can do from this point.
Yeah, that timer absolutely being worked down slowly as we go here, but the run-up throw, the respect is being given. The dash blocks are a little too heavy right now. And there's the burst. Get a bit of that space right now again. Wait for the right moment to go in. The ID attempt to come out. 5P to filter. Keep pressure going. Delayed jump on the overhead of that JH. No full combo though. Gets a bit of a flip. Actually gets an anti-air with the skill working against it. And this like weird kind of left-right off of the S-sword explosion right now. Chainsaw Nan doing their best. Finds themselves in the back on the corner. Clock is ticking, but the clock won't even be necessary. Zintai taking a very long first round.
Absolutely, and I hope that this isn't a theme that we are going to be seeing, these very awkward long rounds, as both of our players, their defense is solid to kick things off, as Zintai not getting opened up very easily by the sword explosion, actually able to fight their way out of the corner. Chainsaw Man, oh, getting opened up, and the flip trade actually giving Nan a little bit of screen room to work with, but Zintai just in a fantastic position at the moment.
Looking good, but the pressure is going in the way of Chainsaw Nan. Good throw attack from Zintai, gets a bit of space right now, able to press those Axl buttons again, and back to full screen you go. You're ready to play the game, but a good BRC drift down into JK. But Chainsaw Nan probably went through. We get the IED, to catch out the punish on the JP. The scratches were already scratching, and all they were met with a metal post. Burst into the sword, blocked out the first overhead. One more mix again, goes for the throw, gets the RC to cancel it out. As long as we can get the wall stick, should be more than enough to even out the rounds, and barely off the skin of Chainsaw Nan's teeth. Figures it out, a round apiece here, but down in burst.
Yeah, and that's the big thing to think about, you know, Gannon, is just how necessary Nan, or just how necessary is burst for Nan in this matchup. I mean, Zintai, you got a lot of backup thanks to that burst, just in case something goes south, but risk slowly being cranked up on Nan's side. Zintai, you have 50% tension, but no significant damage. Finally, Nan gets opened up. Not going to be enough to kill, but you, holy moly, when did Axl do so much damage?
when you're sitting at 80% risk, everyone does damage, it feels like. So, good stuff here to Zintai. Pressuring so well. Chainsaw Nan having to be so different when we make our call-outs there, but a good fuzzy jump into that JK to find out. Tries to get a throw of our own. Also getting fuzzy jumped then. And Zintai gets the recognition, gets the counter hit into the pickup, and puts the first game on the board for themselves here against Chainsaw Nan. I have to imagine we're going to be sticking on this Ramlethal. Looking so damn close between these two in the interactions, but Zintai just putting them, essentially Chainsaw Nan, in this annoying relay race over and over and over again. And we've all felt it. You guess wrong once, and you're back to the starting finish line again.
Absolutely. Zintai really exemplifying sort of the mastery of the zoner. As Nan able to find the first significant hit, but not blocking the low hit grab. Morobato gets baited out and having to spin the burst, only to reset back to full screen. Things are not looking great for Nan. However, Zintai only 50% tension to work with. As this risk gauge now slowly getting cranked up for Nan, and there we go. The mid-range button finally paying out for Nan.
Off indeed here. Yeah, they've been messed up on the BRC drift, but at least keeping Zintai stuck in this corner. No swords to work with to call out for, but the 2K into the throw attempt. Gonna get fuzzy jumped out here. Zintai relying a little too heavily on that sequence right now. Jumping to the low, 2K 5 deep, gets blocked out there, but gets caught for their troubles here. The rainwater too strong, making it all fall down here on Chainsaw Nan as we go into our second round.
Zintai, good IB, and now, again, it's just a matter of chip for both sides. It feels like 2K, 2B, though, is what Zintai uses to open up Nan. And and we are playing this dance again, the mid-screen dance of, will I get hit? Will you block? Will you try and go for a big Hail Mary reversal? And Zintai coming out the winner on everything. Nan having to spend the burst, but Zintai, look at the resources. Burst available, 100% tension available. Gonna have to start using it very soon.
And I love that timing, just ran a little bit farther forward, giving this idea that maybe a throw was coming in and gets clipped for their troubles. 2-0 now. And this feels like a story we've told a few times, Squid. That we've seen Chainsaw Nan go down 0-2. This is when we put up our first win of any of these top 8 sets so far. We'll have to see if we can do it again. It'll have to be a reverse sweep right now, which is how Zintai has been playing on this Axl in 2.0. It would definitely be a tall order, and already winning the burst war as a zoner, not even 10 seconds in.
Oh, but the tricky left, right, and the sword explosion backup does mean that Zintai is feeling the pressure, pulling the trigger on the burst. Nan, I can already feel her sitting forward, locking in. Zintai, be very careful. This is an entirely different character, or entirely different player almost, in terms of pressure. And yeah, Nan, what a good opening found. Morobato not going to be enough to kill because you're down a sword, but it's the hard knockdown rather that Zintai has to be worried about, and navigating things just briefly. Going to have burst back here, but man is still one touch away from bringing us to this next round.
Try to spin it all on the flip though. There's a heavy bait then again. Pulls up on the overhead, blocks it on the 5D. Burst has to be used to keep the sequence going here again. Barely picks the left right now, can't block it out forever. Gets the 5D to able to connect then. We do go to a round 2, of course, there our first kind of chance to be able to answer back. We are down in the burst gauge department though, but definitely not the worst case scenario if you are in Chainsaw Nan's favor, because even if you essentially win this, we'll definitely be seeing that burst again. 2K2D, and I love these like delayed kind of FD drifts there. Trying to be able to call out this left-right here. As Axl fighting back, letting the 2K do some work for it again. PRC back to not get punished. Still got hit for the trouble, though.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate because I know that Nan was ready to get that punish. But Zintai, though, finally priced into bursting. Look at this, 60 seconds left on the timer, and no one's below half health. Finally, Zintai gets a significant hit, and it's not enough to kill. Nan, very low on life, but still can give up this round.
Locked out the 5D with the explosion that keeps the turn, though. The Ram special. Tags on into the throw. One more time. Great tech, though. Calls out the 6P. I imagine right now if you're Nan, trying to willing to spend out that burst once you get to the right. Actually, you know what? Keeping Axl in this corner. Can't quite blame you at this point. Chases out with the JK. But a good 2K press here from Zintai. Evens it out. We bet it all on that burst. And we go into our potentially final round here down in the resource war. We already have Zintai walk to this corner. Delays out into the multiple 2S's again. Lets the explosion call it out. Gets the throw. Falls out again here. Great wall stick routing again. Chainsaw Nan because Boo needs a burst.
Definitely not Nan at this moment, that's for sure. And Zintai getting opened up. The counter hit. Zintai waiting a very long time to pull the trigger on that burst. Waiting to the absolute possible second. But Nan able to find the stray hit. Zintai not gonna get that sweep, but Nan putting themselves on the right track.
Starting to feel like deja vu, Squid. I can't lie. Here we are again, game 3. Chainsaw Nan down 0-2 and says, you know what? All right, I'll start winning some games now. We'll put him on the board here at this point. But man, love to see the determination to be able to do it. And just knowing we got to put this Axl on defense, and Ram definitely a character capable of doing just that. We spent our burst here, and we're being backthrown into the corner, taking a close last starter then here. Not what you're hoping for if you're cheering on Chainsaw Nan.
This is a very dark spot that Nan is right now. Good block on the run-up tap dust, and now Nan given some freedom, trying to apply pressure, but Zintai churning the butter needed in order to get that reversal out. And once again, Zintai on set point.
That point, and a 2S counter hit to a big reward here. Look at this damage from the zoner, by the way. My goodness. Reward for calling it out right here. Chainsaw Nan gets a 5H to connect, forces out that immediate burst from Zintai, which I absolutely agree with. Get that turn back. You have another round, worst case scenario. And here it comes, slowly getting whittled down here again. Chainsaw Nan looking so comfortable with this dash blocking you need to be able to do, represent against this Axl character. We'll find any little connections here again. Both these players trying to find that one good hit to get that game plan started. 100 meter to work with here from Zintai. Trying to get on a close set. A good Mortal Bato here from Chainsaw Nan to fight back.
Spending the burst to try and counter the YRC, and it is successful. Nan gonna get this positive. No!
Yeah, you can't break with the windshield wiper if you do the Rekka sequence, I'm pretty sure. Good blocking out on the overhead. Just jump out there. Of course, on that rainwater. Over coming through. As long as we can finish our food. I don't think they're really willing to spend it out. Here it is. And Chainsaw Nan continues to hold on, saying, I'm not done yet. And I said it before, it might be a potential issue not having burst. But then they won that round in that game here again. But
yeah,
walk to the corner we are. Down 10 seconds already here. Able to fight back though.
Yeah, but the big thing is, though, in that last round, not getting that wall break means that you have no shot at getting burst into the last possible moment at this point. And Zintai just absolutely running wild over Nan. Burst now available for Nan. You've got to be flawless from this point on. You've got to be near flawless from this point on. Zintai, though, probably just looking for chip at this point. Probably just looking to increase the risk gauge. Make it a one-touch situation. Resources getting traded. Burst finally getting spent. And now Nan finally getting that big hit. Zintai back against the wall. Sword's getting spent.
Oh my god.
Did we beat it?
Did we press the throw? We
No!
did press throw! Just like that, Zintai off of some incredibly good defense there, and not names here as we get into our first match here. This is Grand Finals, Paragon Online bracket number 92. See how many there has been so far. You'd love to see it right now. Already off to a pretty good start there. Insert showing us their best dash blocking to work around these Axl normals. Of course, with having this extra sporadic movement you get with these dolphin cancels here, I'm sure helps a ton in the matchup right now, and off to a great start.
Yeah, absolutely. Insert doing their best rushdown impression as Zintai. Look at that, half health already gone, able to get the stray hit though, and Insert being forced against the wall. And just like that though, able to escape and flip the script.
Here, and I love this choice of routing to try to keep it as burst safe as possible. Making Zintai kind of question if we know what spots we want to send it out in. Might not even get a chance to at this point here. Yeah, a little too respectful there of the pressure. Comes for us all. Insert to get that first round pretty handily.
Absolutely. However, Zintai really staying solid, and that's all that you can ask for if you are a zoner, is just staying as solid as you can. You've got to make sure that these zoning patterns aren't too predictable. You got to make sure that your anti-airs are on point just like that, although Insert ready for it. And look at that reward. Insert only just now closing distance, having their first shot at damage, but one touch could spell the end of this round for them.
Gets a good time to get started here. Can't burst out in either of those sequences too. Insert. Zintai locked down right now, but a good reversal throw here to answer back. Not gonna be enough to kill here. May absolutely built like the anchor she is wielding. A good 2K there off of the neutral wall break then. A good evening out in this first game. Good stuff from Zintai there. Not feeling too deterred the way that first round went. You can't be in this game. Rounds can be over so quickly even in this version. And there's the burst being spent.
Yeah, and I'm actually curious if we are going to see it again, because Mopri did point out that 6K able to low crush Winter Mantis. Honestly, that shows the type of player that Insert really is. Like, they are so familiar with May's toolkit, what in theory they can use to try and crush some of Zentai's options. And as Great Yamada-san comes out, Zintai really going to have to dig deep into the bag of tricks to find some way to wrest control of this round. But Insert saying, no, we're going back to the lobby, and I am going to be up a game.
Good stuff there, Insert. Definitely a May to be terrified of if you ever see it. They're a crawling cost in a bracket, so to no surprise. But of course, Zintai, you know, no slouch as well. So you love the meeting of two titans of the online space right now. Definitely excited to see as we continue to get deeper here. We're seeing a lot of moments where Zintai is kind of able to maintain that space control, right? But it feels like you're almost kind of handling like a live grenade that is May, right? Where if you are wrong, boy, oh boy, does it probably feel pretty darn awful. But of course, being wrong against Axl has its own level of frustrations. Might just not be as high in the damage part. But the way that Zintai is building up risk in so many of their matches, Axl feels like a high damage character sometimes.
Oh yeah, and that's sort of the big thing, is like, especially the slower starts of some of these matchups definitely feels like it's more rewarding for Zintai once the explosiveness finally pops off. But here we go, Insert already taking a very early lead, leading this dance as we head through the wall thanks to Great Yamada-san. Look at that damage, more probably half health taken off of Zintai and then some, and Insert with a quick left-right going to shut things down, and we head to round two just like that.
In the first round hit there off the far side, but the up dolphin able to counter hit from across the screen. Definitely May privilege there, but Zintai not feeling too deterred by the way that first round went. Similar story to game one right now, though, of course, you see Insert is able to find the right hit. As we are doing again right now, the burst. When will it get spent here? Early drop on the pickup again. One more time. Dolphin able to connect to finish it out, but a good 5P. Delays it out. There's a bit out of burst. Not get sent there. Catches out into the Dolphin. We were not ready for that hit to actually connect. Another up Dolphin again. It's a 5-day OTG. We are so confident in when we want to take these callouts to the Axl movement, whether it comes from that, you know, Mantis, whether it comes from the rainwater, even just the delayed IED backs into these JSs here. Insert looking so systematic and how they represent these great May quick movement options with this right before it. Zintai is gonna have to reverse sweep. A bit of a theme of tonight, where a lot of players are getting really good early starts there, and we'll have to see if their opponent can kind of adjust. But the toughest part, Squid, is even if you manage a miracle in a reverse sweep, you gotta win another set. You gotta win another set against May Guilty Gear after. Good luck with that, buddy. We'll have to see if we get to it. We're going into game 3, y'all. Hope everyone in chat is hyped. I know I am here. And Zintai's having to press that 2K on Ronstar and get Insert walk to this corner.
Yeah, and this is the part of the broadcast where I always bring it up. How tired is Zintai feeling? Especially considering Zintai starting this bracket from the loser side has had to play significantly more matches than Insert has. Like, at some point, you know, if I'm playing this number of matches, I'm feeling mental fatigue. I'm feeling the fog start to set in if I'm not, like, sipping on some caffeine regularly. So, I mean, that is definitely something that I feel everyone gets affected by, which is why I usually pose that question. And Zintai, I mean, things are not really looking good. Like, the setups have still been crisp. Like, Insert has been on point all night tonight, especially in this situation right here. But Zintai, oh no, messing up the one vision setup. Just has to let it rip as a block option.
Yeah, not the best case scenario there, but health bars are working down. Timer in the favor here of Zintai to play it however they want it, and I love these delayed staggers catching out the startup then. Zintai taking, I think, the first round advantage that they've been able to get, you know, taking us to round 3 in that first game, but you know, round 2 looking much more Insert favored for most of that run so far. But here we go, Dolphin coming out, gonna get blocked out here again. It's a safe way out with the tornado. Insert finding their way back in once again. This Dolphin is inevitable. Does choose to spend the meter as well, maybe to more navigate the neutral a little bit easier here again, or cover some of these cancel options. Zintai, knowing that they are so close to at least potentially put a game on the board, taking at least another game deeper in the set right now. And Insert stuck on that defense.
Insert taking their time, now sends the Dolphin, and Zintai probably gonna die because of it. Yeah, not even gonna have an opportunity to burst at the very end, and the wall damage will be enough. Insert now on tournament point. Zintai just looking to survive.
Surviving against May is a task tough for many of Guilty Gear strivers, so we'll have to see how Zintai can find the right sequencing to be able to do, but the reward difference is showing itself pretty heavy right now. May gets so much for being right, no matter how much you get to control there, and the anti-air far slash is how you're taking this much damage. Put to the corner, blocking out the 5D, no matter how good this defense is, it cannot be enough. May is an inevitable. See ya again next week if you sign up. Insert taking that with a very commanding